You know. No man, we can't stall. Welcome to Town Hall. We can't stall. You know, so we cannot stall. We can't stall. Town Hall. But me they are busy, you know, because I remember said the 26th I come up, you know. I come up sharp. Good evening. Good night. Good morning. Good afternoon. You know, after just rotate it the right round. Yes, man. Yeah. You know, tonight, well at, you know. Well at, man. I guess them two coming. So you know the thing go already? Yes. So we have enough thing for really discuss tonight. A lot of people, man, before my brother and sister them sign in, I go now look around now. A lot of people are contact me. I want to play something. I want to play some of them things here. But JPS about the government. And Joe, the government for do better than this when it comes to the light and to the people them thing. People them get real fed up now. Them get fed up. JPS I put out wrong statement. I said them restore light. People have to pay for put on back light. Some have pay 70 grand. Like them come and put in to look at post them and tell them if you connect your back, you have to pay them 50 grand, 70 grand or more. And then they come and connect your place and all kind of things. I pay extortionist, you know, racketeering around criminal government, you know. And criminal organization them watch. And that need to stop. Criminal government and criminal organization need to stop. I know two way about it. Need to stop. Them need to stop it. You understand? So the criminal government, criminal organization, I want to play something too, you know, for the man them signing. Because tonight, that, you know, but I deal with some things, you know, because we're going to talk about the 8th. And people, well, like, nobody can trick you, you know, because the IC always contact you when they have a problem and they're going to tell you, say, you are part of the investigation. So the Prime Minister must know, say, him and his family are part of the investigation because from 2021 and them are writing them turn pen pal. Him can't tell me say him not part of the 6. No 6. 6 plus 2, 8. Again tie. And from him, that means him and him wife because she'll be the $800 million building and we don't know how the money they go. Don't it? Of course. We don't know where it go. That's the truth. Right? And let me see if I can get up a number here. Again, tired of complaint to you know, so them want all kind of things from him. Again, tired of account to me, too much good things, don't it? Queen here complain to you know. I want this strike, don't it? But the Prime Minister not take your eyes off of damaged goods. Never you do that. Never you do that. See? Him have him to come in here and them are going to rotate and do all kind of little things where we don't fall for that trap there, you know. No take your eye off of damaged goods. Saying, we want to play something for now. When we just get today. I get a lot of things. And the people them ask me to talk up for them because them not have no light. And the phone, the phone thing now work, people. Because the phone them say them can't get for log on good because it eat up too much data. Said nah show properly, some of them nah show. You know, when you have like your home, your telephone line at home, you know, you have a thing where you can just use the phone and go up on that, you have your TV can go up on anything there. Them not have it. So them a feel bad now, them a miss out enough of the show there. But like them a get purged out, you know. All this the mind, you know. But it need to stop. This need to stop. And by the way, people, they make them go to nothing. Don't make them come and go to nothing. And then I take a bag of picture we do and all kind of things that we stop too. Let me find the bed, you know, more and play. Let me see if I can find, let me see this. All right, see that? This is just one of them. I may have more, you know, but this is just one of them. Hear this. This is one that come in before me. Come on, hear this.
The man in the wilderness, may I beg you, at least, even 2 minutes out of your time, so that I can explain a little thing to you. I'm from the parish of Clarendon. I'm not going to name the exact place where I'm from because of certain political sabotage. We live in a little community. But you know, every little community have them little area where the town like a little town in them community. And these people choose to close down everything in the little community. Reason why I'm saying closing down, they don't give we no light. They stop the road, they don't fix the road. They start the road, they don't fix it. They don't give us no light. The people them from the community, there was a big mango tree drop on some light wire. The people them from the community clear the light wire. Clear the light wire, you know, the people from the community clear the light wire so that them can get to fix it up, and they don't. The people them have them goods in them shop and them thing. Everything is spoiled. They don't even care. It's total sabotage. I'm telling you. So, brother, my office said this. This is more sabotage. We don't have no light from COVID, from the hurricane. We don't have no light. And before that, 2 days straight, we don't have no light.
Before?
The week before the hurricane.
Okay.
So it's sabotage. And in there, so all of the little business them there, the little restaurant, the little wholesale, and the little things where people can get to buy them little things. That's what go on in our little community. Them know which part. They don't have to call the name, but them know which part them are sabotage.
I mean, I will call the name, you know, because him tell me this morning, say, him look at Delco, him have a little thing where can run in business now, you know. Him have to dash out everything out and switch to. Everything. Clean it out because everything has spoiled. Himself, they put gas in it done. Them can't run nothing on it. And then me hear other people about the same gas argument and all kind of things, right? But I mean, I tell them when people turn back at them. But honestly, go up on TV, go up on Al Jazeera, international TV, go tell them, say, international media, go tell them, say, him have everything locked. And everybody good. Him get back on him feet and everything ready. People them ready, him ready. And at this, I mean, I tell you, say, no fight, no way, look on it. The amount of this I sent to me, it's unbelievable. You know? Up in above here, we know say them clear. I mean, I show no. We know say them got clear, them chop down the tree, but them not move the light post. Remember when I showed you the thing yesterday? I show them something now. Because the eagle are flying up. I show you. Them not moving. I show you something. See? Remember above here when I showed you yesterday? No, them go clear, but the light post still not move. And then them people that out there, them have big things them are going with. Yeah? Yeah. See? Big sitting them are going with, them are charge the people them. And they have the worthless government now, you know, chopper government, you know. Yes. Sperm whale government, you know. I give people a blue, you know, well, blue match with them, them blue thing there. To appalling. You know, for put pan, wait I put pan, one. And a little uncaring package and say millions of dollars and them things. You can't do what people them this, man. Can't do what people them this. He might try to purge them from using the internet because them don't want to listen to the radio and not at all. So them are calling see me. But them say, no for them say them can't get for watch. Because them know say the data thing like you can't be if you log on it now, make you log on and them can't see. So them you know, them are go back on them things. So honest know myself for the people them. But tell me what, people might use this can see me to stop it. You understand? You need to stop it. In above beer now, I missed something. Above beer. All right. So above beer. Yeah. So them the tree. Then cut the tree. I'll show you just a little part of this. But then cut the tree. But then cut the tree. But you know, them still not move the post. Them just come cut a tree. So, you know, let me show you a little thing. See that? I never show nothing right now, you know, because this is what I go on above here. Look here. Look here. Hey, my eagle fly all over the place, you know. See the whole place out there? Like post still there that sit boy I'll string up all about see there. Not that one there, not the other one that drop. I'm gonna show them say me eagle a fly. You know, say the tree wanna go cut it, come and look on it, see there. Just start them go to saw up the tree. Nothing else. You see that? Yeah. And them boy they don't put off for that one, them just cut off some tree and things, see there. That never clean up. Hey, let me stop this because this is sin, you know. Me have a video with it, you know. Not my word. So when me talk, me like showing the thing them and show you none of my word. Hey, R&R. Well, go and start. The 26 round somebody, you know. You want to say everybody I call me from over here, you know, because a lot of people there, you know, say, hey, remember, you know, we are come meet, hey, the whole Tonal crew, the whole Titans, and the whole, hey, the place smash, hey. We can't wait till the 26th. I said, we're going to man, it's on the 26th. Remember, me head strong first, you know.
Today's what? Today are the 14th, so 12 days.
Yeah, them can't wait, man. Them a bother me hard, man. Them a bother me hard.
So the place I go ram, the place I go ram are just a little thing like the diaspora thing in Jamaica where the second year does, you know, second year half
the room empty. The 8 and the Mr. Leggings. Yeah. No man, people them a come out, man. We ask man. A lot of couple are come out, you know. No we don't have a couple. Just a couple them. You know, husband and wife and things, yes. Them know, yes. Yeah, man. Serious thing, but you see it, man. You see the settings. We don't have come now. We don't know. We don't know. Nobody come them, you know. Their husband not dead. And donkey no bite them. So, you know, you understand? So, them good. You see? Yeah, man. Them people are coming in. You see me? I say that thing, man.
Yeah. Well, but me I wait for her to come. We just come off our house vibes. But me I wait for her to come so me can go do a little thing, you know, cause you know go, you know, I say like dog style. So me just want to get some things.
Yeah, man. No, you know, I'm saying nothing else. Hey, let me show you a little thing though. Look what I road up in a St. Thomas. You put a road in a St. Thomas. And tell me this. The person who walk in front of Hulk Hogan. And if it's an Hulk Hogan, I can show you Hulk Hogan, you know. I know what's going on. But look at the
carpet, you show me the carpet in the center.
No, not the carpet. Look,
okay.
Just look on this. Look here. No Hulk Hogan that right. Look on the carpet. Look on the road there now. Look there. They should have goddamn shame. Look there. And she a post front of it, you know. You tell me I'm on a drive range shoot. Not tell me if I'm Hulk Hogan this. Look there. That's so disrespectful. Yeah, I'm MP, you know, and I boast on the people, them. This are the PR. Look on the road with them fix. Look on them road. What kind of thing and that? I want to say Hulk Hogan. See the people.
He's Johnny Nash.
Oh.
And look at
how that. No, look, now they see a pants that. No Hulk Hogan. No Hulk Hogan this. Look again, Ratty. Remember play back. No Hulk Hogan this. Remember play this.
Hogan celebrate. Oh, I thought I'd never see this.
You don't see him boot that.
Hogan.
No, Ratty, look at now. No Hulk Hogan this when Hulk Hogan I go to the. See there? Where you say Ratty, man? No Hulk Hogan this I go to the ring. Eh? I do PR stunt. Look, let me show you. Let me show you again.
He's Johnny Nash.
Let me show you again.
Steve. He's Johnny Nash. And look at Hogan celebrate. Oh, I thought I'd never see this. Hogan. No, he doesn't.
No Hulk Hogan at my boot. Look here. No Hulk Hogan this Ratty. I'm going to put down the shirt. Look there. And then I do PR with the people. Them look here. Eh? And I show the road and I'm going to, you know. And put on doctor. Doctor, you know, which part of doctor this? When that lose its license. Eh? Now look what that to us, Ratty. It's so embarrassing to the people them at St. Thomas. Very embarrassing. You mash up and PR thing, it's going to do a PR stunt. Right there. It's so embarrassing it unbelievable.
That's a her district. That's a her district, right?
Yeah.
So, man, try to figure out the name on the shirt. People don't recognize her.
Them sister, she shall promote herself. And I promote, I should promote. Hulk Hogan. Back way. Eh? This is embarrassing though. Very embarrassing. So this is what them do, you know. And then I want to show you, you know, matter soon come on, but let me show you this again too. When I want to talk to you on Herb on this, but I'm making up with you, I know say, you know, when Herb come in. But let me show you this, Ratty. This is how the Prime Minister him lied to, you know. Every time I talk, him tell about a family member. And when he mention about a family member, it's very dangerous. You have to be careful. When he mention about a family member, you have to be very, very careful about him. You hear the water where the Prime Minister, this is the best water I ever drink. You understand? See, this is the best, eh? Yeah. You understand? Yes. Look on this, Ratty. Look on this.
How do the people of these communities survive?
Water will run from the pipe. I show you all kind of color.
St. Elizabeth is known for its rainwater harvesting.
Them water.
You hear him? This is when he want to trick people. You know? I hear him tell about him grandfather where he never tell about before, you know. Hear this?
They can't trust the drink.
When I used to spend summers with my grandfather in Goshen, we got water collected from the roof.
Go back and play the part.
What I tell with you? I lie, you know.
When I used to spend summers with my grandfather in Goshen, we got water collected from the roof,
and clean water
stored in a tank.
We tried already.
And
We eat and we drink water in the pipe and then all my belly.
the most refreshing water I have had came from that tank.
It's a rock.
Yeah, they're the most refreshing water, people. Where mad? Came from the tank. The dirty house stop, you know. What because I remember, you know, rain fall upon our stop. Wash up, we get in the tank, and the most refreshing water he had came from the tank. Him just lying about it. He want to tell the people them say, well, we catch the water, yes, most refreshing. So you do this and do that to it. I cannot think that your house stop in a ratty.
You know.
Dog mess, everything blow up. You know, the dust will blow off of the road round, dog mess and everything blow up on your house stop. Rainfall wash it down.
Here what the at least which part my people them come from a St. Elizabeth are the red dirt where come from Nean, the backside plant. And that dirt that upon your rooftop, you know, the water wash off in the tank and that you drink. And that's the most refreshing water. Yeah.
Well, somebody said, I have to play it again, I have to rewind it. I will say that. Let's play it again. No man, I will land there. Let's have to play it again. A man in dangerous, you know.
How do the people of these communities survive?
Water will run from the pipe. I show you all kind of color.
St. Elizabeth is known for its rainwater harvesting.
Them water they can't trust the drink.
When I used to spend summers with my grandfather in Goshen,
Yo, you have to send me this, you know. You have to send me this.
Oh, yeah, man, no, but he lie, man. The body lie, they sting this, you know. Him lie, man. Damage good lie, man, you know. Yeah.
In Goshen.
But we want it one more time.
Harvesting.
Them water they can't trust the drink.
When I used to spend summers with my grandfather in Goshen, we got water collected from the roof,
and clean water
stored in a tank.
We tried already.
And
We eat and we drink water in the pipe and then all my belly.
the most refreshing water I have had came from that tank.
It's a run your belly.
It run your belly. I'm tell that it run your belly. The water will come on for the old stop where your people them the ratty. Them water they not drink it hurt you, man.
Yeah.
I forgot boil it. Him say him have the most refreshing water I ever drink come from the tank. That tank there. Him not drink it I'ma tell you, you know. Just want to tell the people them these kind of things because I saw him stay. The man lie. Him lie. Alright, I want to show you next thing before Herb come in here. This me have to show you. Right? This is breaking up a protocol. You ever see a prime minister leave and go talk to a soup in our parish? Me never see that because I remember in a police force, you go under rank. Up with rank, right? Rank, different rank, climb up rank, right? Go up with rank. You ever see a prime minister go talk directly to a soup and ask him about crime statistic? And he might tell the prime minister and I promise the prime minister, I promise you, we going to keep and we going to load. You ever say anything like this?
Why you have a police commissioner and a high command?
Me no know, and then why you have a national security minister? And then you have cabinet. So if that means the prime minister have them police a lot, then you know some breaking and some protocol list too.
And then remember now, you know, them have cabinet meeting every Tuesday. Yes. And them have the post-cabinet briefing. So, you know, the cabinet, the prime minister sitting inside there. So he would have go around the table and get a report from every head of ministry. So if he needed that crime statistic, he would have gotten that from the Minister of National Security there.
That is it. So, you leave from Kingston and go, yes, and I call the man by name. And he must say, you're honorable prime minister, that him and a police, you know. Him forget fired. And the prime minister, this a breach still, you know. A breach. That means the prime minister can't program him to do anything. For prime minister go down there go do something wrong now. Or praise the prime minister, that means the money even stop him for a traffic ticket much as say anything wrong. Anything worse than that. It's wrong. And the prime minister I work for, not the people them at Jamaica. He promise the prime minister to keep lower down the statistic. And by the way, when I talk to the prime minister by 6 o'clock in the evening, Friday evening, a curfew for 48 hours. It must just done 7. It just done. The time them just wrap up. Teacher.
How are you, Soup?
I am doing great, sir.
How are things in the parish?
Well, so far, Honorable Prime Minister, we...
Him catch him breath, him a coward to you know. Like him shy. Him a police, like Honorable Prime Minister. Him a look on this honorable, the lightest thing on earth and I call him Honorable Ratty.
How are you, Soup?
I am doing great, sir.
How are things in the parish?
Well, so far, Honorable Prime Minister, we are experiencing a 11% reduction in murder. Now, where we are standing presently was a location of the recent triple murder, which is the Johnstown district in the Lucy policing area. But so far, Honorable Prime Minister, we have put strategies in place to contain the spread of violence. We have other challenges in terms of different locations, such as Green Island, but with the hard-working men and women of the Hanover Division, I promise you, sir, we will be able to ensure that we have public safety and security at our...
I promise you, at the Jamaican people in my work find about it. You ever hear anything? I promise you, sir, we will have public safety. But him take on you some kind of god mythical creature or something. Him think on you one Jamaica. Well, the way to them I go still because them won the Red Hills and them won half a Red Hills, right? Right, Ratty? Them won half a Red Hills, right? Never play about the part there. So, at the Prime Minister, him a promise. No, where you have a commissioner for? Where you have a national security minister for? Him a soup. Down the soup talk to the SSP, the senior soup. We talk to the ACP. We talk to the DCP. We talk to the commissioner. We talk to the national security minister. And then them keep them cabinet brief him. Oh, him leave the whole of them in a command there, so I'm gone to a soup. And I call him by name. That mean I got a political line, man. Oh, you go there, I call him by name and shake hand. Eh?
Him name Nish? And Nish him name?
Yes. Nish rhyme with bitch, don't it? That kitchen bitch. You rhyme with bitch. Yeah.
I promise you, sir, we will be able to ensure that we have public safety and security.
Oh, you say this. I promise you, sir, that we will be able to have public safety. This, you see, this a garbage, you know, people. No, Ratty, me just see the president's son, them get convicted, right?
Yeah.
The sitting president's son, Donald Trump get convicted too. Then find him guilty.
Right.
Yes.
You mean Biden's son?
Biden's son, I mean Biden, and then Donald Trump get yes. Eh? So all this works up. Eh? How this works out? Oh, you have a prime minister. I've talked to police directly, and them a promise him them are get things. This not supposed to work like this. Never yet. This a breach. Me see the president, a president, a female president in South America, somewhere around this Central America. She wears some water right now. Police go raid her place. They might investigate her. Meet our presidential police and go raid her place. Yes, Shorty.
You remember this prime minister has no sense of what he's doing when it comes to national security. You remember, and I think you played it one time because I think you sent it to me, where him come off a plane and him get a briefing on the tarmac. When you hear them kind of things happen,
a foolishness him doing now.
I know him come so, and this little man, you know, Mr. Nish, him not have no clue what going on, because you know what you know what them, somebody should ask him the triple murder. How much people there are prison for the triple murder?
And him does a triple murder does happen where him there.
Yeah, so how much people there are prison for that triple murder?
Triple murder, you know. Eh? And him a promise a prime minister. This him break and the commissioner this, and him shouldn't even go to the commissioner, you know. Because you have a national security minister. So police supposed to the police, you know, so authority.
Yeah.
You have the prime minister dip up in everything. The other day you have Evan Thompson. Where am I thing there? Where look, where am I the weatherman there now, meteorologist. When we look, meteorologists take over. We have hurricane. We got Andrew. We have hurricane. I'm a mythologist and a mythologist. We need Mythbuster to deal with him. Or you take over the man job and him don't know what. If you ask him a question, him don't know what I'm talking about. Why have so much office name in a film office? The Prime Minister office have so much agency in him office. Why?
Control.
For everybody.
Control. He want to control everything. What that tells you, what that tells you is that he's not a good leader, because a good leader, one of the first principles of being a good leader is delegation. You delegate to the right people so that they can come and keep you up to speed. You don't have to dip in at every single thing. So delegation is a problem for him. Another thing is control, because when him have all of them things there, then him know exactly what's going on. And keep in mind, we should never lose sight of the fact that his wife, who's a developer, a lot of the permits where she get, permits from NEPA and so on and so forth, I in a female office them there. And if you don't see a conflict of interest with she being the Speaker of the House, a parliamentarian, him being a parliamentarian and the Prime Minister, and then put all of them things on them, if there's not if we don't know what else is a conflict of interest, if that is not one. If that is not a conflict of interest, I don't know. And then him jump in everybody's business. Him jump in a health sector. Him jump in that. You see him jump on him a talk about water. You see him jump on him a talk about national security. The man jump on him talk about everything. We see him come here and talk about foreign affairs and things like that. Then when him get all my favorite minister get she full up fear of foolishness, and then she start talk about Plan Secure Jamaica, which is a national security plan. I talk about it. I mean, I say, what is this? What is this? And you know what happened? The good people in the diaspora who were watching that program and had a chance to ask questions didn't ask the minister none of them questions about, because since she talked about national security and I put herself out there, ask her the questions about national security. You know, if you talk about what you don't know about, unless I ask you, ask questions. You can't come out and give speech on something that you don't know nothing about it. And this is what happened. We see this constantly with this Prime Minister, time and time again. Him go around and him take over people ministry. And that's why you find them have all kind of issues. Remember him talk about what the number of shelters him have open. Then another minister come and talk about a different number. Then somebody else come and talk about a different.
No, them sick, you know. Them sick. When we see it, and hear this, him go on him does assess fake news, you know. And the man himself has spread fake news on an international level, by El Jazeera, but they're in America, they're all over the place, worldwide. And him go interview and I said 900. You think about it, 900 shelter. And you put even 1,000 people, them are all more than that each. That means Jamaica have no good house then, you know. Got 900,000 people that you put up in a shelter. Lie, I tell you now. He might mash up himself just to tell lie. And he may realize it. The other one come and say 700 on 80 plus. And then Bushra come and tell him it's 63 shelter island wide open. And that's so enough.
This is the same. Don't forget now, Lonesome. And the same man is who said them prepared for burial, you know.
Himself.
Yeah, them saying prepare for burial. And then burial come and them not prepare for burial. The with him, Office of Disaster what? Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management. Then the office is a disaster itself. They never prepare for nothing. You see what them are big for now? Them all are big for all boat. No, them are big. Somebody says
can get them boat. And for what? Can I cocaine? You got it?
Yeah.
So they make them tripping out. What them on the boat for? For when they think
and you know, if them did say we want on the boat for future hurricane, the first question I have to ask is why didn't you ask for it before? This is not the first hurricane come on Jamaica. Why never ask for it before? Right?
What me I said to you, if them say them buy the most and spend the most and buy a much vessel, oh you're a big boat. And if a hurricane, but cane, not hurry. For yeah, for one of the cane, you know, but but not for hurry. So them take off the hurry, them and go trick people they want it for hurricane, but not really hurricane. Because a lot of the things them float up, so they must want them the boat there. Because I remember, you know, if you use the vessel them when you buy, and them are truck and US are watching them, and say, well, so them are use Jamaican vessel and carry the cocaine them pan it and thing, but I forgot sink them and deal with them. So them want the boat now. To go deal with what them are deal with. I must say cocaine, not hurricane.
And what I know, them say them want steel hull boats, and then them also want inflatable boats. But them say don't send the inflatable boat if you not send the engine and the other things. Them want the full work.
Ask them what them are do with the boat. What them could I do with the boat? Remember land more want to fix up back, you know. But out of the sea, what them are do? Use the boat and go check the wheel them out there. The sperm wheel them out there.
You know, it coming like them are talk about them want to build desalination plants. And somebody point out to me that no. You get desal plants when you have no water flowing from within the country.
Yes.
Right? So you take it from outer sea. But we have rivers flow out to the sea.
Every water that's just you don't need
so you don't need no desal. You have water in the island. It's just that them don't have a proper water management plan. That's the problem.
We don't have a drought, you know. We don't have a drought.
No, you shouldn't have a drought.
So we dry here, say if you manage the water proper, look here. Them have oil pipe, them have pipeline in where them run from Alaska and go straight down to where them want from Canada go. Thousands of miles. Jamaica does 140 odd mile long, 50 odd mile wide. If you take Black River alone, it have 200 and something feet deep. The widest part over a mile. Right? The amount of water where I run go and see it unbelievable. It a waste. It does a run go. And look on the rest of the river, them more water run go to the sea. We don't have no water problem. St. Elizabeth shouldn't short of water without them river there where I run. Black River alone, you could have sent water town. See? Kingston get water from in a St. Thomas too, you know. See? And you have some place at St. Thomas have water, no much river out there. And then they dry up. They are not. See? So when they talk about water, and they up and down and chat a bag of crap. This is a bag of crap. Yes? No, but a bag of crap, them attack. Anything them, we better off. See? We better off, man. Watch this, Ratty. Watch this.
Soon, the people of Jamaica have been asking the questions. When last I spoke to you in February, I put the question to you about your statutory declarations. You told me that you had written to the Integrity Commission and you were awaiting a further response from them. Have you had that response? And what was the response?
To me, I've written back to them. They have written to me. I've written back to them, and it is still a matter for the Integrity Commission. Like you.
Okay. In the 70s, when they used to court. The people them are foreign to court the ads them. PayPal, pen pal. Remember, we never have no computer and things.
Yeah, you have pen pal, yeah.
And the whole of that, you see people pick up this and them I tell you, I am that and that, and my ABR, and them tell about themselves and people write them.
Me don't have one of Sweden, man. Me don't have a pen pal of Sweden. Some used to write.
Sweden. So all this man I come with the pen pal. I'm turning the ice in a pen pal, brother. Where I say, I'm turning the ice in a pen pal, Ratty.
Well, because the IC lazy and them not have no backbone. So, because if I needed them, wouldn't have done a whole heap of writing with him. Would have done a whole heap of investigating, and when we finish, we just lock him up. If he need to get locked up, we just lock him up. But then I go back and forth. Can you imagine this, right? That a prime minister who made it one of his primary points during his inauguration, that and subsequent to that, in all of the throne speeches through the Governor General, said that corruption must stamp out corruption. And yet, his statutory declaration for the last 2 years, going on 3 years, cannot be verified. This is not a good look. This is not a good look. So, and them keep, like OT says, just tennis ball, I'm going to go back and forth, back and forth. None of this shouldn't happen. No, back and forth shouldn't happen. You know what them should have done? You see, just like how them do it, you know, one of the things we talk about is equal justice under the law. Everybody's deserve the same kind of treatment. Now, what them do with the former speaker, Marissa Dalrymple Philibert? What them do with her?
Not
the complaint went, right? Them have the complaint, and then them determined that, them do them investigation and determined that the car was hers and she was using the car. So what them do? Them write to her, and she write back and she tell some lies.
Pen pal again.
And the next step, what them do? Them bring her in. Why them can't bring him in?
But tell me what, them still fear charges. We not see nothing with that. We not see nothing.
It half a tree court. And when them it looked like, based on Integrity Commission's report, it looked like keep on calling Beverly. The former junior minister in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Leslie Campbell, right? Yeah. It looked like him plead guilty and submit all them forms them, and yet still we don't hear if the form them. The Integrity Commission basically says, okay, everything is fine, and we say no, everything not fine. Him send the forms them in. No, you have to verify them. You have to certify them. We don't hear nothing more about that. But in the report, and I suspect that it's him. But we're going to check and find out.
But let me tell you something though, and you're my thing with this now. I feel the Integrity Commission might have saying to themselves. Remember when they never charge him Urban and Ratty? When him said don't you trouble Zion? And them said come back and this and that. So him say I have to go back. Listen, I tell you say I have to go back 7 years. Remember play this and then I tell you what I ask. I ask you the question. Remember play this.
I too am anxious to have this matter resolved.
But what is the nature of the issue that you keep having to respond about?
Well, the general issue of the Integrity Commission is that they do an entire audit on your financials and your personal finances. And for me, going back several years. And that takes time because it is done.
Ratty, in clear 2019, you know. So I'm talking about go back 7 years. That means it gone back and go down to trouble Zion time.
It's not my response alone that they have to await. They have to await the responses of several other agencies, entities. It's a very detailed process. And I don't want to comment on it too much because the nature of the process is that the Integrity Commission is the entity that really should give the final disclosure and approval. So I humbly await the Integrity Commission.
But aren't you worried that you're bleeding political capital over this issue while they are silent on it?
Some of them, the IC and the day are silent. Ratty and Herb, the IC can't come talk and say we have to do this. Them tell us them send to who them are investigating. You know? Them have to notify who them are investigate. Them say it. Right? so them know, you know, so Andrew them, you know, so people for hold them accountable. And this is what me I talk about. So if them know, and Andrew come out, come say and talk to people far and wide, but it look like him, I one of them. Him, I one of them. Because your wife, if you declare 171 million and now from 2021 you can't get your statutory declaration, and your wife says she had 800 million things, she say it in a court, not my word. Not our word. Eh? So them want to know, and they want to send back fair kind of paper where them can't clear. And next thing what them doing now, Urban Ratty. The IC said them have a problem because some of them people have places and have money, you know, have places them where them own, you know. You see when the IC check, them say it's a gift. And the people them dead. Who give them the gift? So why you have a gift and you have your kids and grandkids them now, and you look on politician and give them gift? Them kind of gift there. That makes sense to you? That no make no sense. No, I have to laugh, you know. But then people that eat them a jackass, you know. Eh? And hear this, the whole of them are use the same thing. The same line. Eh? A time for people that them up, them are criminal. Them are real criminal. Finish hear this. Hear him when in political, them say about them a lose capital, right? Hear this. Hear this.
So I humbly await the Integrity Commissions.
But aren't you worried that you're bleeding political capital over this issue while they are silent on it?
I'm not expecting him to bleed capital. I just listen. I'm lies them. Or I'm trick the people and con them. So the IC to make him lose capital. SSL to all kind of things, him can't trick the people. All them class make him lose capital. Him knows. Everything make him lose capital. Him does damage.
Well, you know, it's one of those things you deal with politically. As I said, it is the process.
Let him worry about this. You know, one of those things you deal with politically. As I said, yeah.
And I have followed the process as best as I can, and I can only await the Integrity Commission. I am in an invidious position because I am the one that has to ensure that the law is respected, and therefore you will never hear me make any complaint. Even if I feel it has been unfair and unduly so to me, you will never hear me complain.
Some just complain. Even if I feel, can I say feel when say us about even if I feel say it
even if I feel it has been unfair and unduly so to me, you will never.
It's unfair and unduly so to be. He might tell me how I feel about it unfair if you left him with the wagga money. You hear this, Ratty? Remember go back to and then go to Herb. Where does say the while? I'll be a garbage that, you know.
Look, it's simple. Him provide information that cannot be verified, and I am faulting the Integrity Commission also, because for the 2022 one, that should have been completed already. That should have been completed. 2022 should have been completed because it was turned in by on or before March 31st, 2022.
Yes.
Right? Jamaica is not a big place. And also them have
completed, you know.
Eh?
In 2021, I got it now, you know. Them still have it.
That's what I said. Them might take too long. They might take too long to go through this thing. And I don't know if it's because of the thing with the Westcon thing, right? Them just catch them afraid and them don't want to proceed, and it's like a hot potato. Nobody don't really want to move forward with it. But a lot of questions will be answered when them turn the thing. One way or the other, a lot of questions will be answered, because if them have him for this long, what it tells the whole world is that something is wrong with those statutory declarations. Something is woefully wrong with them. And if something is woefully wrong with them, then he might have to answer some questions. I'm going to say answer some questions. He don't really have to talk to them. Not have to talk to Integrity Commission. He might have to talk to the judge. Them need to wrap this up though. They might take too long, Lonesome. Too long.
Herb, let me say something too. You have in a Jamaica, THA, you have to pay for your tax, you deal with your tax, you know. You have to deal with the tax every year. So how the tax office pass them people here? We have to yarn enough people, you know, say want him go mash up a little thing and come back. We have to go and mash up. Me and Herb go and back it, man. Because I see a yarn and I don't want you to drop asleep, man.
Go on. Me not sleep, man. Go on.
Asleep. All right, so hear this now. Them have to pay them taxes. If the Integrity Commission say all these things, that means the same thing where you fight for the tax man, you're supposed to fight to the Integrity Commission. What the difference? The tax pass these things. That means them have some little man in there do some things wrong. Because the tax man supposed to flag these things too. Because if you find something wrong in front of the tax man, that they put you in a trouble, you know. And them have them investigation team and everything, they send you a prison in Jamaica, you know. So all them clear the tax part of it. But the Integrity Commission part see a kind of hole in it. You know, so something wrong with it. Because the same farm with the tax man them get, if the IRS, if it declare with them, I go declare some wrong thing, then they come for you.
When you look at the declaration of the Prime Minister and the fact that the Integrity Commission has not cleared him yet, we haven't heard anything out of the tax administration. We haven't heard them say his taxes are okay. It could very well be that it's frozen until he can get by the IC, right? Because I truly don't know how in the world he would get okay from the tax administration and still be pending issues with the IC. The tax administration should even go even deeper, questioning line by line items that the Prime Minister write up and claim, right? And they should be the first one to point out incorrect data. So I can't see Lonesome. I really can. And I've asked some people to look at this and let me know what they think, because and I've been waiting for them to come back and tell me exactly what they think from the tax as well as from the IC position. But you're right, it's a key question that needs to be answered, and the Integrity Commission should be working hand in hand at this point to resolve the issues with the tax administration. As a matter of fact, they should be able to identify any false reporting done to the tax administration, which would be another crime, right?
Because believe it or not, they must have some false declaration at tax office.
Yeah.
They must. Because I mean, I hear them a complain. And yet they do investigation to and everything. We not hear them complaining at all, right? So I have to ask, because when you don't file to the tax people, you know, remember the Integrity Commission does a check up, you know. You have to pay the taxes, you know, to one where you own and everything, you know. But them are look still. So if you want to just keep up, you still have to explain the unexplainable. Or you get the money, yeah. You leave from your something because you have to fill it out. You have to fill out the form same way like the IC. You have to. So you couldn't jump from 171 million in a 2019 and then your tax paper them are right. And your wife have built 800 million investment. And that is just one investment. I will not hear the tax people them say nothing in a Jamaica. And by the way, the tax people them in a Jamaica, the tax administration is a criminal place too, yeah? Remember, so when they rob people carrying a ratty and herb. Remember, so you get them about you know their chassis number, you know. Tell me what. The tax office, them when you go there, you know, go pay your thing them, you know. You get paper from them. You have some criminal in there run the organization. So it's a criminal organization, it's not clean either. It's not clean. So you will get your car robbed and them get legit paper from the tax office like a legit thing. The man them change the chassis number and when you spray up your car and get it changed and when you do them get legit paper. You can't know. The tax officer do it.
Yeah.
Even with the driver's license. When man buy them license, them have to have linking at the tax office and go get the license. The tax office up there, them are criminal. So we see why them are go through the tax office, because it's a criminal organization. It's a criminal organization. No them give the people them done so 450 million for rent. Where them not have the man that say put in him flooring and him elevator the other day. For the tax man, where them not going the night down in Manchester, not them. And that's a stage, eh? Them give them friend near the $500 million. Free. The Prime Minister no come say nobody not talk. You know, say what them do to the country. A criminal organization, this man. Eh? Me call them PayPal in a ratty. Because them pay them pal. Eh? Yeah, man. And get paid, man. Them a PayPal them, man. Eh? So taxpayers' money are move all over the place. This wrong. This wrong. And then the Prime Minister come and try to explain himself. Him can't explain yourself. And by the way, you see the package where them put out at it? The care package? The care package.
No.
All right, so the care package. Well, it's an uncaring package, by the way, you know, because this is a total disrespect. The Prime Minister do this and I show it to people. Him so disrespectful. Look on this. Him put up that too, you know. Look at what I want in a care package. What me see? Me see Eva saw wagon.
Peanut. Oh, what that? Not that? No. That looks like cereal.
What is sugar?
That looks like cereal.
Antina bean. And what is again? Amacrylis. And this is Eva. Something this.
You have mixed vegetable.
And they look spoiled too, you know. Like it outdated. You know, with them, I look good. See?
What kind of beans is that?
Tomato. Beans, not tomato sauce.
Tomato sauce. You know,
yeah, then them have Vienna, it look like Vienna sausage. Or as we used to say, sachets. And them have mixed vegetable.
That mixed vegetable is one. Yeah.
So that I go feed the family of 4 now.
But look on the back. May I show you the back? May I show you this? And yes, so them spend millions. Look now. So them show it. Look at. See there? Care package this. So and you have to sign for it too, you know. Front of this, and then the Prime Minister put it up. You know, some disrespect to the people them. You come with this. Me think I better you did, and you have spent millions. I better you give them a bag of flour, a bag of rice, a bag of sugar, a bag of cornmeal, because 100 pound by that thing bit can even serve for a month or two. Then, if you cook 2 pound out of it at daytime, ratty. Or 6 pound or something, but you have a bag of rice and a bag of flour, it go far away. Right? And then you give them some things. That better, you know. Look here. See there? And the chapal look on the man place, nothing no good no depend it. That can cover 1 chapal in ratty. So if you tie the pan horse stop, this is like a flat horse stop and rain come down. And then rain stop and start get a belly and drop down by your brother. You think them going off and look what the Prime Minister saying come give. It's a total disrespect. He might take you for goat. He might take you for animal. I better go outside. Look here. Them are sign it. Look here. See there your sign. Look on the man also tear off. Look here. Look on the and 1 chapal in. 1 blue one. You said all I tear off. So when you put it on this on the water and it get a belly. Where this to you? Where this to you? This are the help. See the help. Look here. You have a sign. Ministry of Labor. Look here. And you have a post to them too, you know. You get this one. See there, you have a post to them. See there? No, Ratty, no, come on, no, man. Eh?
Yeah, wait up. I can ask you a favor.
Yes.
Look back, the one, you know, the Prime Minister, can Herb no seat, man. I'm more Herb seat, man.
Not me, I'm knock it right now. But Herb, what you say with that care package, man? I'm not that one right now. Because my finger depend it for a knock it, you know. What you say about that care package, yeah? Because them have money, them say millions and spend already, you know, for them, you know.
Millions.
Millions.
And who provide the packages then?
A ministry of what that? I would have labor look a while.
Labor.
And then the AgPen provide some too. Like provide over 50.
Minister of Labour and something about poor relief or something like that.
But do they have an exact head count now as to how many people are in need?
Them not have a head count. They might give some wrong figures, some terrible figures. Yeah. They might give some terrible figures. Yes. I'll look back that one there right now too, you know. Watch out. Watch out.
How do the people of these communities survive?
Water will run from the pipe. I show you all kind of color.
St. Elizabeth is known for its rainwater harvesting.
Them water they can't just drink.
When I used to spend summers with my grandfather in Goshen,
Can't just drink.
when I used to spend summers with my grandfather in Goshen, rainwater harvesting.
Them water they can't just drink.
When I used to spend summers with my grandfather in Goshen, we got water collected from the roof,
And the clean water.
stored in a tank,
We tried already.
and
We eat and we drink water out of the pipe and then all my belly cut.
the most refreshing water I've had came from that tank.
It's a
On the dirty tank with dirty, the most refreshing water. Because they want you drink the water, you know. So he might tell you that. And I might tell still, you know. Yes.
If it's one thing I've always thought about this man, you know, he is like what they would call a silver-tongued devil. He will whip up an idea in a second and sell it to you, right? It's like him shoveling snow cone, him shoveling the ice,
Yes.
and then him don't even ask you what flavor you want. Then give you one of the sweet flavors, either the strawberry or one of the other sweet ones. But him know how to whip it up, you know, and him can stand there and tell that story. And maybe only people who know him personally know him whether him lying or not. But you know, he will sell you.
Mm-hmm. Every player, if him live in a one room, then two room, then you know.
Yeah, and he keeps selling it.
Yes.
Next thing you know, him will live in a no bedroom, you know, studio.
Yes.
Where you have kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, all of them facing one another.
In dangerous. Ratty. Where you say the man say lie, Ratty?
Yeah, man, the man say lie. Like that.
I'm dangerous, man. Dangerous. But I'll get a lot of calls, you see? Because the people them say, through them know, them want to catch up. And them no want the radio and the TV down there, you know. The people them get, you know, frustrated because them not get on the light, you know. And by the way, JPS are charge them money too, you know. The man them are work, you know. You pay 70 grand and you get the light up. When them put up the post, I'm saying I think over your place. 70 grand, 50 grand and them money there, you know. You understand? Yeah, man. As they do that, man, you get a thing put up, man. You're good.
You don't have to pay no light after that. You don't have to pay no light bill after that.
Well, somebody just send me a them bill where them there the house and a beer sitting. Pay light, man. You have to pay, man. So I say you have to pay, man. Them are going bad, man. Them are going bad. But as me I say, Andrew, I run out and I try to use this now for do some PR stunt. And me I say it can't work. You have to stop it. You have to stop it. Just stop up. When I'm doing a 2016, 2020 and I can't go along, don't come back with it. You have to just think about something you damage and it don't make no sense. Yeah, you know, and him lie. I remember, you know, this is how I'm going to tell El Jazeera, you know. So I'm going to tell them, yeah, you know. Not my word. But a player and make the people them see you yourself. I tell yourself, always safe. And we're in the highest thing, you know. The highest thing, we're good. You tell them that. Not my word. See that? See there?
by the Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who joins us live from Kingston. Prime Minister, thanks so much for your patience and for talking to us at what is most probably a very busy time for you right now. Can you just tell us how prepared the island is and what preparedness you're at the moment?
So the government is at its highest level of alert and preparedness. All our entities that are responsible for disaster and emergency response are mobilized. We have 900 shelters right across the island. I would say that about 90% of them are mobilized and ready. So from a government perspective, the government is ready. The government also engaged in an intensive informationalization campaign with our citizens for the last 3 or 4 days. So from a household level, the Jamaican households have information about how to protect themselves, how to protect their property, and how to respond after the hurricane has passed. My own assessment is that every Jamaican is taking the necessary steps to protect themselves and their property and to be able to recover quickly after the hurricane. So I think the island is prepared. We are informed. Right now, we have started to experience hurricane conditions, but not yet severe. So we are still some way out, maybe 3 or 4 hours out from actually experiencing severe hurricane conditions. We are expecting that by virtue of the category of this hurricane, which is projected now to be at category 4, and when it reaches Jamaica, it could potentially downgrade to category 3, still a dangerous hurricane, which would cause storm surges, heavy rain, potential destruction to coastal infrastructure and residential and commercial properties. And in the interior, we may very well experience landslides. But we do have plans for that, and we are prepared.
So, Prime Minister, I don't mean to interrupt, but in terms of that preparedness, there will be a different policy for those that are living in urban areas to those that are living on the coastline. How are you advising people who are living on the coastline that would have to move, perhaps, would you say, to the interior? And what sort of numbers are we talking about?
Well, we have identified all our low-lying areas, and that is essentially on the southeastern coast of Jamaica, where we would have potential significant damage. There are shelters in proximity to these areas at higher ground, and we have implemented under our Disaster Risk Management Act an evacuation order. Once we have made the assessment, and we have made some assessments, then we will enforce those orders and assist residents in relocating. But outside of that, for the last 3 or 4 days, we have been imploring residents, and some have responded and have moved voluntarily.
Prime Minister, Jamaica is no stranger to hurricanes of various levels historically. What lessons have been learned in the past that have actually...
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are your mic in a herb? Your mic I got some yeah.
Let me check.
Yeah. Yeah, yes. So you hear the lie when I'm telling. I'll be a lie, I'm telling you now. Him well alert, man. Him dep on the highest level, man, and everything, and they might recover quickly. How much shelter?
Well, I know. Him hear him say? Him say the government is ready, we are prepared, and we are informed, and we're at the highest levels of preparedness. So why is it that since I'm prepared, why is it that him a beg the diaspora down all kinds of things? Why?
Him be a lie, him not tell. And then about the money, the insurance. But we ask about the insurance money to know. Because it don't make no sense to me. Gilbert was our category when it reached Jamaica.
88, it was a 3 when it made landfall. It was a 4 when it left.
Why them register for 5? Ever 3? Why you register? Why you not take out insurance? And then why you not take out insurance from somewhere in Jamaica make the money stay there? Oh, you know, Ghana, we have 5. That means that them friend them insure with free up the money. I chop the money and I tell us insurance. Come in and understand that. I don't understand that. Save Gilbert at 3. I run over the place. I don't want to use a 19 grid. And it have to go your son, the middle bar have to drop. They have to drop to a certain temperature and certain things. It's a garbage.
You know, input out like an editor, letter to the editor today in the newspaper. Right? I'm gonna read it. Nita just asked me to read it a while ago. I'm really thinking I'm gonna explain the World Bank cat bond, right? Yeah. Instead, what I'm talk about is the Caribbean bond where them have the Caribbean nations them after, I think it was after Gilbert, them decide one of them hurricanes them decide to pool them resources and help each other. That I go yield Jamaica 16 million. The UN get Jamaica 2 million, 2 point something, and the US get 2 point something.
Yeah, 2.5. Yeah.
That can't do it. Everybody, people supposed to ask him, because him said not every hurricane will trigger every bond. Well, why never said that when him that sign up for it and make people know when him that sign up for, so people could have know. Why I know him I come tell we this. And you notice him don't mention him not come out and say the World Bank hurricane catastrophic bond is a disaster because me get trick. Me think say we would have some money to take care of the people whenever we get hit by a hurricane. But me don't know what, me never read the fine print. And me say no, the hurricane now have to be like a level 4 or level 5. It has to be a named storm, has to be a direct hit, and it has to have a certain intensity. And if it not satisfy them things, we don't have the money again. Why not come out and tell the people them that and just admit to watch, I make a mistake, me get bamboozled, me get inside and me think me could have hold my own against them guys, but the guys them outsmart me. Because if you look on the first bond with them signed at 2021, and you look on the list of people who the investors them bring in, if you assess the risk, them bring in a whole bunch of risk management people. Because with them go back and look at all of the hurricanes over the years and say, what is the probability of one of them are going to hit Jamaica? And what the man them do, the man them realized that the last one was Gilbert in 1988, and them set it up so that should a hurricane at 4 or 5 hit Jamaica, nothing go left.
Yeah, but hear this now. So if you set it up, let me just say something to you, because this crucial what I say. If Gilbert people are category 3, and you did insure for category 3, that means anything over category 3 automatically you must get paid out.
Right.
So if you did insure for category 2, anything over that you get paid out. Why you going to category 5 if a category 3 not Jamaica? So they must stinker. So if you have a category 4 or 5, you must get paid out. Because anything from 3 go up, you must get paid out. Why you going and go on a 5? So if a category 3 still like Gilbert or wreck the place, you still not get paid. Why you going on a 5? Say them friend them share money for that makes sense to you. It make any sense to you, Herb or Ratty? It make any sense?
No.
One of the things is, if they don't insure at 4 or 5, then the premium.
Herb, something wrong with your mic. Herb, something wrong with your mic.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, better now.
Okay. If they do not insure at 4 or 5, then the premium at 3 or 2 is going to be extremely high, because the likelihood at 2 and 3 is more apparent. Do you understand?
But listen now, Herb. When last time you were category 5 in Jamaica? So in the next 100 years, you can give them people their money. That means them people are live power like things.
Well, that.
You see them. What you say? Penny wise and pound foolish.
Pound foolish, yeah.
Them fool.
Hear what I'm saying? Hear the argument we make. The argument we make is that for tropical depression, right? For 2 or a 1, you must say the Caribbean. Let me see what them call it. The Caribbean, some Caribbean bond. You must say that would have covered it right? And so the World Bank cat bond, that's for like 4 or 5. So I must say from a tropical depression to like a 3, him have money for cover. But here the problem with it, him himself come out and say the money from the money we might get from that fund, it can't cover a good 3. It can't cover a good 3.
You buy it, you can't top it up. You can't top it up. How much him pay for that? How much him pay for that too? Because I pay money for that too, you know.
Yeah, them not giving us some sum of money with them pay for that, you know. Them not giving us some of money with them pay for that. Oh, see that? Him call it the Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility. That for the one for the Caribbean with the islands and pool them resources. But throughout this article, I'm not talking about the big one. And the big one, the way do the big one. If the big one happen, people believe me, Jamaica, that 150 million cannot fix back one parish. Cannot fix back. Remember now, Gilbert coming on, right? And Gilbert was a 3, left as a 4, right? And Gilbert was $700 million worth of damage. 700 million. We insured for 150. By the way, Jamaica was insured for 185 in a 2021 to 2023. So why now him drop it now to 150? Why him drop it to 1? And a key to loan some. What we don't know? We don't know yet if it's 150 million per hurricane. So for example, this season of 2024, make we say, God forbid, but just for the sake of the conversation,
yes,
Jamaica get hit with 4 category 4 storm. Does it mean that we'll get 4 times 150 million? We don't know. Or the saying that will pay up to 150 million for the entire season from June to November. Right? Or is for the whole contract period from 2024 to 2027. We don't have them details there. We need to know. Them things that we need to know.
Yes. Yeah. Because I'm really sick, you know. Because when you really think about it, you know, you say anything when you insure this. Like if a comprehensive, you say from level, even if you have a little more, you know, you can't be penny wise and pound foolish. You can't go insure for a category 5 will now come, you know, not Hurricane Gilbert, 88. Yeah? The next 4 years are 40 years or 36 years ago and at category 3 there. 36 years. September, so the 12th of September come 36 years. 36. Yeah? 36 years. So when you don't get up, so you pay the whole of that money. I bet you put the money in some kind of fund and go and hold it there. So and save the money. They can if you spend 1.8 billion. Every year they have to pay that ratty. 1.8 billion per year. Yeah? And from 2021 they have to pay that bill there. So they pay 2021, 2022.
No, hear what them do. Hear what them do. Them get trick. Hear them doing at 2021 now. Jamaica went to the World Bank and said, listen, we want to set up this cat bond, right? And them say, okay, we will arrange it. Then Jamaica went to the UK and Germany and the US and said, we are asking the please for help us pay the premiums, right? Them insured for 185 million. So them 3 countries that pay the premiums. So them look on Jamaica and say, listen, it's almost like them a sell crack. Them say, we are going to sell you, we are going to give you, pay for your coverage then 2021 to 2023. But after that, you know why I have to pick up the coverage from 2024 if you decide to renew. They don't get no payout based on what we know from 2021 to 2023. So now, time come for renew. In April of this year, Jamaica said, all right, you know what, we're going to go it alone. So now Jamaica pay the premiums. Jamaica, 10 point something million US dollars a year. Right? And them have nothing for sure feet. See the place mash up there, and them not nothing for sure feet. And even him himself, now, him coming and talk about him have, look, the amount of financing where him say him have, they should not be asking Jamaica for, diaspora for anything. Because him say them have 3 or 4 layers of financing. 4. With this, the Caribbean one, them have a savings one, them have a resilience one, and them have the World Bank cat bond. The World Bank cat bond is the big one. The one that don't get activated. So you have to go deal with the rest of the money they may have. the little bit of money we might talk about. He might brag, I pat himself on the back, say, before him coming up power, there was only one tranche of money them could have get. But now them are 4 that them can tap into. Well, we know the big one them can't tap into.
I'm going to say them a big like dog. Them a big dog. Yes. And by the way, I'm say something to you too. I say something to you people. The Prime Minister tell them in the act pen and an act pen, you know. Act pen. Guys, yes. See? The Prime Minister say, you know, them set up with NCB. Do not send no money. Go give them, go donate to them in an NCB. Because remember, leeching, I forget money. He might forget charges.
Me share that screen now with you, because I don't know. Hold on, let me share. Check out that thing here. I just learn to do this to the Panita program, you know. Yeah. It's tough, guys. Thing they tell me, show me all the time. All right. Hold on, then now. See where that's come from? New York, you know.
Disaster relief, yes.
And them want it now. This is what them say them need after burial. Them say them need it for other hurricanes, you know. Them need it for address burial, right? Look on that thing here. Me I remember that talk about it. Metal Hull Rescue Boat. Them don't need a rescue boat right now. If them say we need it for future, but them say we need it for burial. And then look over here, so.
Much boat them buy. Go on there. Don't move. Herb. Don't move. Don't move from the boat. Herb, tell me how much of the vessel them buy. But them are tell us them are part. Can rescue and do everything, you know. The sort of thing them what them buy. Them buy around 5. Them buy around 5 vessels. So them are look rescue boat.
We don't see none of them in use. We don't see no video and none of them in use.
The 5 them buy more. And buy around here helicopter.
No, them gonna Haiti. You hear talk about lonesome. Them they are Haiti, you forget?
So them
you have to remember when they deploy these guys in the inclement weather, that boat is gonna go to sea and come back in up the river or come into some cove area. And that rain that fall is gonna be sending torrents of river water coming down towards the ocean. So them boats have to be strong enough to cut through that kind of torrent, you see? And this is what they're asking for. Now, we're looking at this as an initial buy. Well, it's been 40 years. You mean to tell me in over 40 years they have not been able to secure sufficient equipment that would defray this kind of expense today? And keep in mind the thing I just saw here, that we're hurricane insurance premiums across the Caribbean are 50% higher than 2 years ago. That means they're tying it to the ferocity of the storms that we have today. These guys should have seen this coming when the climate change occurred and bought the stuff at that time. Not wait until now that they realize how bad things can get, right? Because whatever JDF has, I guarantee you, when it get out there and them seas start throwing that stuff around, they're going to have a problem, right? Because they're going to be crashing up against rocks and all kinds of stuff, bust up them boats, and then you have some lives at risk. You know,
but hold on. But sorry for interrupting.
No, go ahead.
No, you know, you mentioned something which is very important, because all of this, there's a starting point, and it's climate change. And who is the poster child for climate change in the Caribbean as far as the US is concerned? It's Andrew Holness. And them have a climate change, the COP conference, them have a climate change last year in Dubai. And who attended? Matthew Samuda. Matthew Samuda, Minister of Tourism. And there was one other minister who shouldn't be there, but he was there. I can't remember his name right now. 3 of them go, right? And them don't understand what going on. Them don't have a clue what going on. And you're right. Jamaica's had a history of hurricanes going back. I went back to the 1700s. So this is nothing new. And you think they would be prepared for it. But people keep in mind, our leader said, when asked by Al Jazeera a few days before the hurricane hit, him said, the government is ready. We are prepared. We are prepared and informed the highest level of preparedness. And look, the highest level of preparedness. Look on the first thing, look on the first three things on the list: lanterns, flashlight, battery.
The highest level of preparedness. These are things I'm supposed to have.
And consider this. The burial was not a direct hit on Jamaica.
Yes.
So what happens if burial was a direct hit? You don't see a whole lot more than items increase, right? You see thousands of flashlights needed.
Yes.
I don't even know where we get our backup generators from for a lot of stuff. But they would be paying out a lot of money for those backup generators.
Lonesome, let me show you something. Look, go to the second column. All right, let me see if I can make it bigger.
Yeah.
The second column. All right. Look here. Look on the second thing on the list, on the second column.
The second one, fertilizer. A fertilizer, man. So only a big fertilizer. Large value, all types. All types. Green poles. We don't want a green pole. Hold on there. Oh, okay, I'm getting but we don't have green pole already. Hold on. Now green pole is. But we get green pole already, we don't beg more. Eh?
Them have wire to you. Them have the hog wire, right? So.
Them have then hold on there. So who wanna do the hog wire? No, Ratty. No man. What them people are big? What am I do with the hog wire though?
No, I mean the man go on international TV.
International. What you do with hog wire otherwise? You must again tie them and tie up. See the people hog wire. See the writers, so see the front of one of them want hog wire. But and them have hog. So they must again tie better. The man go on international TV, Ratty.
The man come on international TV and say we are prepared at the highest level. And you have to ask for flashlight battery.
Water boots, you know. Look at the man I'm beg now. Knapsack, sprayers. Hey,
look on that side of as well.
Garden fork.
Yeah.
Let them prepare pesticide, fungicide. Them beg everything, Matty.
Yep. Somebody tell me say somebody want to start a hardware, man. So that's why them a beg them thing. Somebody in the hardware business.
No man, this bad do. I'll machete them out, you know.
Look on that spade, hose, shovel, speaker, drill gun,
bolt guns.
They want to look what else? Animal medication.
They want a remote. I wonder who they want a remote. I wonder if a general lamp pile.
Okay. They want field hospital too, you know. See field hospital, yeah, you know.
So hold on. So all the hospital are the best in the world. I want to want field hospital. What am I doing with field hospital? Them people don't know if I beg. After the man just them tell you the highest standard, the highest level of preparedness. Them I beg them here.
And then don't forget what them said to you know. Them said that we are separatists, we are treasonous, we are traitors, we are breakaway groups, we're this, we're them. Don't want nothing to do with it. But yet them send this out to all the way and I ask now. But look where it go. It go to right as so.
Look at the ag pen people. It got to the ag pen. See there? The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, the ag pen, in Road. And you still them up there, so them a push it in the road. They can up there, them there, you know, same way. Up on the Prime Minister. The Act Pen.
Somebody just mentioned about the periods with them up. Them should have used that.
Yes.
Should I tell them, so give back the money. And them bright too, you know, because this is the inflatable boat. They make you know, say, they want it equipped with engine and equipment. So you better give them.
So what am I do with an inflatable boat? No, just think about it. What am I do with inflatable boat? You can blow it up, you know, pump it and blow it, and you have to give them equipment and things. What am I do with it? They say them have JDF vessel, and them have some police one too. What am I do with inflatable boat in a strong current? What am I go with it? That my one way, you know. The man them a beg hard. Heavy duty roofing tarpaulin. Eh? And the people, them I get one tarpaulin. Them a beg something phone, you know. Tarpaulin now.
Yeah, when you say zinc in at all.
Not even one zinc. So them a think about you know, them a put it, them a set tarpaulin.
You know why them not asking for the zinc? Because them friend have the zinc contract.
Oh, yeah. That is it. So then I beg you, beg tarpaulin.
You have to buy the zinc. Yeah, you have to go buy the zinc from them friend.
All of this is simply a resupply to bring up. They were never ready for the hurricane. And when they realized how close they came to disaster, this is what they're asking. This is bailout stuff right here.
Yes.
They want bailout. They want us to bail them out. Right? So that they can be ready. They're not ready. It's crazy.
This part more say a shelter. More show them what they shelter them. Shelter ratty. When people have shelter, even if homeless people and things, don't them have a bed and you get a hot meal and you can hold a shower and things, don't it?
Yes.
So at Penn, me expect now Jamaica, if you know hurricane, me expect them to build up real shelters and not using school with fancy black and all kind of things, don't it?
You know, you just hit something, you know. You just look on the list again. On the list, you don't say chicken back.
Yeah.
You don't see food on the list.
No
and that is
food.
one of the things that people need now.
Yeah. And the guy said they went into the shelter and they had to come back home to get food. Now imagine that.
But the shelter, the entrepreneurs said them spend much million for shelter. No go so. Cause you just a look place, a look a dirty place where you blow off with you and you stay in there go lie down on the look dirty ground. You don't have a proper bathroom. That's not shelter. Them never have no shelter.
It just done for me, you know. That Mrs. say, you know, you that thinks you that say canned goods inside there. Right?
Yes.
Where you can feed people. No food no there.
No, them not do that. Them not business about people.
You know why?
Yeah, man.
Because I'm friend of the supermarket them.
Yeah, man, that's true, man. That's true. More see the shelter. More say me some.
I remember move this then.
Well, let me say make some shelter upon this. More say me can go down upon this and see this.
Good afternoon. She spoke with
Jamaica Fire Brigade was there. The team.
All right,
heavily in our informationalization campaign because
that new campaign now, people. What I'm saying?
Information.
Information and lies. Information, you know. It's not an information campaign. Informationalization campaign.
There may not even be hurricane straps. You may want to, at this time, if you haven't done so, if you have, you know, heavy blocks, that you could start to put that on your roofing just to keep some weight on it so that you don't lose your roof.
I make no man go sit up on our roof, you know. Cash evidence a black, you know. Andrew, hold on. Me no want to move this. Woman sit up on our roof. Yeah, when does it come while? These things you can't send wrong signal as a prime minister. You know you must do it. I'm going to show you something, Ratty. This wrong. Andrew caused this. See it here? Hear what I'm saying about the black? Look here. People look here.
Mom!
See everything are black.
Mom!
So, can't say just keep it steady. Look there.
Mommy!
I mean, that is so dangerous.
Look, I say everything are black. Can't tell her to wait.
That thing could have sliced her arm off easily.
That is it. But Andrew tell her, say, you know, if it black, this everything a joke, yeah.
I know most Jamaicans would have taken
this, so.
or that if you can do anything to keep it firmly in place, that you take those measures.
So him tell her to take those measures. Me tell us what am I saying? Him this remember just play it and make it hear it again, you know. Hear the black, yeah? Hear listen.
And Prime Minister Andrew Holness is again calling on Jamaicans living in flood-prone areas to relocate to a place of safety, where he was speaking on TVJ Smile Jamaica earlier today.
My continued advice to all Jamaicans is that, you know, it is not too late now to take a second look at your roof, just to make sure that if you can do anything to keep it firmly in place, that you take those.
So the woman him tell to talk to Jamaicans. If you can do something to keep it firmly in place, he might tell you
those measures. I know there are many Jamaican households where it's roofing made of zinc sheeting. There may not even be hurricane straps. You may want to, at this time, if you haven't done so, if you have, you know, heavy blocks, that you could start to put that on your roofing just to keep some weight on it so that you don't lose your.
Man, go sit down, Panitrati. A black, you know. A black. You put some black on it. She sit down because she weigh maybe 200 pounds. She evident a black. She evident a black.
Roof. I know most Jamaicans would have taken the opportunity.
The Prime Minister says the measures implemented will help to mitigate damage.
Okay.
That would mean that there would be an earlier and swifter recovery after the hurricane. And that is the reason why we have invested so heavily in our informationalization campaign.
You hear that? Informationalization. What a campaign, you know? In invested in the thing them where we have up the place in a lies PR. Informalization camp. What I'm saying?
Informationalization.
Informationalization. Well, informationalization. Lies-zation campaign. What I think, whenever I hear people are use them kind of.
What I'm saying is allyization.
Informationalize.
Informational lies to the nation.
Yeah?
Informational lies to the nation.
Yeah, because I be a lie to the nation. Campaign. Campaign, you know. So only thing him do is do PR and tell lie and, you know, blow the things out of him. Dangerous, man.
Because the truth is that the best way to recover is to prepare. And that is, in effect, the nature of being a resilient country.
And we're now joined by Andrea Chisholm, who is at the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM. She spoke with representatives just before midday.
So we're now joined by Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie, who is actually fresh from a briefing with the staff at ODPEM. Minister, thank you so much for speaking with us. First of all, coming out of your briefing.
But dead man face get mummified though. You know, look mummified, look at the man, look man. It's mummified, man. He might be in Botox, man. You can't see them full them face with a Botox. You can't see it. Eh?
What is the latest?
Well, so far I've been updated on the number of shelters. We are close to now some 60-odd shelters across the country. My information also is that at least 85% of our shelters are in operation, and this is right across the country.
I'm telling you, 65 and 60-odd and at 85%. So that's 15%. So it cannot reach 100. If a 60 and a 85% or something, it's like when a man when them vote ratty And them are cut the ballot box and them say reach 90% or 95 and them make them that declare man. Because them say the liquor left, you know, say
Right.
reach 80%
Can't make a change.
declare it now. Him say 85% and a 60 yard. Oh, the Prime Minister reached 900. And John Jacket reached.
Hey, hold on there. Don't forget, are the same people them this, when they made up them bogus conference at Jamaica last month, with them claim say them have 1,100 or 1,200 people register.
Yeah.
How many lunches them buy? 700 a day, and the 700 include ministers and ministry people and
And
this
all of
and
them
that.
from the ministry. Or them, say a lot of them.
1,200 people say I'm gonna have 700 lunches a day.
Eh? That makes sense. That over 500 them say over this. I remember I pay Jamaica, I pay people who live down there going.
Yeah.
Them lie. I know people go, man. Them lie.
So the same thing. The same.
One of the
people have a problem with numbers. They have a problem with numbers. Man.
Remember, them have a problem with the them not have a problem with the mayor, so them have a problem with the numbers. So if you keep the mayor from Portland, you must have a problem with the numbers, that thing. But them keep him and the professor. I remember, them, you have ministers that are prime minister and ministers, and the chair them are coming.
But here's a problem. Here's a problem. Why am I telling you? These people are numbskulls. Here's why I'm telling you, them people are numbskulls. They come out of a cabinet meeting, brother. Well, on there, you can't hear me?
Yeah, done better now. Yeah.
Yeah. No, what I say is that keep in mind that these meetings are not happening in isolation, Some of these meetings are cabinet level meetings with the whole cabinet there, And so the numbers we pass around is one set of numbers. So how is it that you have 4 members of the cabinet who come out with 4 different numbers?
Them for go, But him that the closest, I think that's 60 up in the world, 14 parishes. Because Port Royal, if you leave from Port Royal for go up arena, and it big, it's about a couple thousand, and 12 alone they up them. I show them. I show them and I joke me I make. Never fool them two like
concerns I have, and it came out of the meeting, and during that meeting I had a telephone conversation with the mayor of Kingston and the councillor for that section in East Kingston as it relates to Port Royal. 2 buses went to Port Royal from very early this morning. The Jamaica Fire Brigade was there, the team was there. The mayor spent close to an hour. The buses left Port Royal with probably 1 person in the bus. So again, we did make the provisions for Port Royal, nobody responded. I understand, based on the discussion with the councillor, that some persons would have left yesterday voluntarily and would have gone into the shelters at the national arena. What we are getting so far is that there have been a number of road.
All right, people, let me tell you something. So if out there, so you have to leave from Port Royal, must have a shelter for you, maybe a winner road or something, but you're going to national arena. We up there, so from Port Royal, but I tell you, I'm not out of Harborview, because them that stop out there. We have Harborview school, and then I'll carry out there, them not use it. Because you don't stop out there, them not get closer to them yard. So in the whole of the school, them use a shelter. I tell you how far them carry them going, Put up there, so. Yes, they have much shelter, like what the Prime Minister said, no go so. Him lie.
Yeah, well, but you know something, if you really are talking about planning, emergency management planning, right? You want the things in proximity to where people live. You don't want people that travel great distances. Them should have a shelter, brother. Them should have a shelter where it is so logical. I don't know how they missed that. They should have a shelter at the airport.
That's it.
Them should have a shelter, build a shelter, right? So that way there you can cover people who are at the airport, who did that way on a flight, but them can't go out, and them did it, and then people from Port Royal. So the people not forget go all the way up arena.
But look what I said to you now, them not build that. But them have done a school. They have up the grade and remember it have laptop and everything. So instead of you take them from Port Royal, I remember as you reach around about that, we turn up to go to St. Thomas right there. So instead of them there, so right there, so them easier to go back over on the stretch. You carry them way go up there, so take the whole mountain view, go and way up in the stadium, go and up there. It don't make no sense. It just don't make no sense. You understand?
Here's another thing. Let me ask you something.
Yes.
Is maybe you are Herb can answer this, or maybe somebody in the chat, because I don't know. Is the national arena certified as a shelter for hurricane?
No, them that's
what level?
In the school then. Them that's open it and use it. I'm going to show you two what them use and it couldn't certify. Remember? That's why I ask when street people. I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you two shelters.
Blocks, land slippage in sections of St. Andrew. I know that the main road from Kingston to Port Royal is literally impassable between the cemetery and the whole lighthouse. I am concerned about that, and the NWA is going to be moving as quickly as possible to have that clear. We are seeing rains just right across, which is we're seeing where lines are down in some areas in St. Catherine. We're seeing fallen trees. But basically what we are now beginning to see is the real work of this hurricane. And as I speak now, we have done all that we can in terms of preparedness. So what is left now is how are we going to start to pick up the pieces after the next couple of hours. I am a bit more comfortable because I am seeing where more persons in communities that are prone to flooding have been responding more to the call to leave communities. You still have those who don't want to leave and will give you all sort of excuse. But basically, as I speak to you now, the information that we are getting does not yet start to speak to whole-scale dislocation and concerns, and I believe as the system gets closer, we will get much more in-depth information. The command center is fully in operation. They have been in operation since last night. I spent a significant time here last night, and I came back this morning, and I'll be here right through. But I just want to say how much we are grateful to the efforts of the team, and I did indicate to the ADPEM management team how much we appreciate the efforts that they have been putting through. And I just want to use this opportunity again to say to persons, if you are in communities where it is vulnerable.
Sister, you see you, man. Maria. Hey, Maria, we are looking at you now.
She can't hear you. I don't think she can hear.
Hey. Sis. Yes, we know.
Yes. Hi, well, greetings and salutations to the best brothers and the best human beings walking earth. Ratigan, Sir Herb, Lonesome, you're just awesome human beings, and I am blessed to know you guys.
Yes, sister, good. Well, I beat them in a look.
Yeah, I'm good enough.
Well, look on some chat. I'm going to cut a mommy face when I'm first away, because this is the acting one.
Just want to correct one thing, Wayne.
Yes.
During national emergencies in Jamaica, the National Arena serves as a certified emergency shelter. It is activated and ready to receive persons seeking refuge. However, it's essential for vulnerable individuals, especially those living in low-lying and flood-prone areas, to move to shelters early before the full impact of a hurricane begins.
But you say it serves as a certified.
Yeah.
And like nobody no go recertify, no, them just carry them up there. And just say it serve as where them putting up for them head. But you know, like in the state, you have to really go there, go certify something, and you have to make.
Well, that's essentially what they do, though.
I'm not sure where in there. If it's a shelter supposed to have bed when it all right, so something like this, you're supposed to carry the bed, them line them out and set them up in the room, and you have at meal and even nurse there or anything, because thousands of people there and people are sick. Not true.
But you may not understand. You may not understand. When them said certified, Herb, is it certified for categories of hurricanes?
I'm not gonna say it, man.
Is it because you have different certification? Because if them say certified for category 3 or a category 4, category 5, or is it certified just in the case of national emergencies to whole people?
For all people, it's a pen.
Just whole people.
Yes.
The whole people, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a shelter. It's a shelter.
Edge due to concerns of flooding. Dwayne Anderson is in that parish.
Things are still pretty quiet here in Clarendon. In fact, I've seen more specks of sunlight than I've seen rain since I've been in the parish this morning. But that is not to say people are not taking heed. In fact, I've spoken to more people who are taking measures than those who aren't. Persons are taking steps to batten down their homes, persons are trying to secure their animals, and persons even managed to find a few shops which are open to get last-minute supplies. Here are their views.
Drive here, but I live near I'm Town. So where you coming from? Town.
So where you going?
Upper Hill. Alright, so say not take no chance? Me I take the chance, don't know for them, but then I take it.
Hi, mommy, morning.
Yes,
what you decide to do?
Take care.
Me here sit a come with wall for water and my house not ready and the quality not clean.
The chicken them kind of secure already. You understand? So they goat them now.
No distraction, people. But that one in a favor sperm whale, man.
Well, they goat them more secure more than the chicken because I want to place my grill up for them goat pen grill up, you know. The food me up in a bag, you know. Because Sam come so me have it.
No stamp come. No not all. No stamp. We're buying up stamp.
Are you worried that people might try to steal them in the hurricane?
Them have to turn in my yard. Me rather out there to see them 24/7. 48-14, me not left back of them.
Right now, I'm in Portland Cottage in Clarendon. It is a seaside community located on the southernmost tip of the parish. And right now, I'm specifically at the Portland Cottage Primary School, which is being used as an emergency shelter. And I'm
look on the shelter, you know. Let me show you how them have no heart for people. Them. Look on the
with the supervisor here, Miss Williams. Miss Williams, how many people we have here right now?
Okay,
all right, look front of you straight ahead. Them name Fancy Black. And this a zinc top that maybe to the hurricane strap. Do you see the chair them? This look like a shelter to your herb. It's a little school, a little
we would have to find what is the standard for shelter.
No, but you look at this. Fancy Black, this can't be a shelter. This open, we never come through it with rain and everything. This blow, this a trouble for you. Fancy the Black there, you know. See Fancy Black here, you know.
Yeah.
But what is the standard? We still need
to register right now.
So, all right, you have a wind and you have a batten it up. This no have clear wind and rain. Sit your shirt wide like a window there, so it no batten up. This couldn't be. This wrong. It's wrong. But them use it. Remember what the building too, you know, so them have Fancy Black where just put on the ear come in and if wind up. You understand? This wrong. Hurricane, you know. No care where it blow from. And then you don't have no bed. They say no bed or anything in your herb. So you do come sit down on them chair and set up your foot. This look like a shelter to you?
Well, they tore the place?
Them not tore it. Them just call and tell if you come this for shelter, it's better than yours.
34 people. And how many can the facility hold?
Over 200.
What would be your advice? Obviously, you have space. What would be your advice to residents here?
Okay, I'd advise them to come out to the shelter because it's the most safe place right now with a category 5 hurricane coming. They need to come to the shelter to be safe.
It's time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. In Portland, dark skies have...
When our news team spoke with the chairman, had to come out this afternoon to carry out this work. Now, earlier today, I was in Port Antonio. Not much less people from off the streets. We're being told they were being taken to shelters and other areas here to just ensure that they remain safe. Now, the authorities are here going through the area. The security forces are also on the street carrying out their regular patrols, and residents are basically staying off the streets. Now, we can't stress that the government has implemented the Disaster Risk Management Act, and that is now in effect. And as a result, persons that should be on the street are only essential workers. And basically in Portland, what we're seeing here, residents are adhering to those legislation and that regulation implemented by the government. Now, we will be monitoring the situation and we will be providing updates in subsequent newscasts. Until then, it's back to you in studio.
What is now?
And in the corporate area, despite the curfew which came in effect at 6 a.m., vendors were seen on the roads.
Already at least one house has started to flood. Roaming the community,
we reported that persons have already started to go to shelters across the island. Our news team visited the National Arena and spoke with a Red Cross representative and resident.
Inside.
I am 8-year-old, I tell you.
Right. That like a shelter to you this? Who shelter you have for open space, you don't lie down on the ground? Who shelter this? Just this what the woman are say yes or no? Look who them put here. Them not have nobody else. Yeah, people want medication, listen.
And I usually have asthma. And being lonely in a home by yourself, you know, you get scared. And the doctor will let me know that excitement can bring on back asthma attack and so. So that's why I said I'll come and stay at the shelter.
Have 12 persons registered, including one child, a 3-year-old. So we have 5 females and that would be what, 7 males? Right, 7 males. We have various types. You have different personalities, and I'm seeing some who are in need of medical attention, yes, beyond what we are able to do as Red Crossers. But we're here nonetheless to ensure that they're comfortable, they're in a secure environment, and they're able to relax until later. Hopefully the storm will pass sooner than soon, and persons will be able to get back to their normal lives.
So you sit down there. Remember, you know, your house can't blow down, and you can't go home back till like 3 months and things. Where you do sit down in that? It not have no bed. We not see no food. Because people got some shelter have to leave, go back, go look food, you know. It not have no food. You know, see no bathroom, you know, see nothing. A big empty space, just for us keep off the breeze after you just start them call a shelter. That them call a shelter. That a shelter? It's a joke. If you transform it in a shelter, if you make it serve the purpose, can't deal with the people like this. Eh? But you have a sleep, not even sleeping bag herb. That look good to your herb?
Look, here's what it's saying. Design standards. Shelters must be designed and evaluated to higher safety and performance standards compared to regular buildings. They need to remain intact, operational, and serviceable during extreme events. Criteria include strong roofs, sturdy cladding walls, doors with proper locking mechanism, and windows with shutters. Shelters may need to accommodate large numbers of people packed together, so they must handle additional loads.
So,
right?
So if you have that sound like just a packing room, but this is not a shelter. If you have shelter, you have to treat the people them good, and maybe you lock up in there, you can't come out.
Yeah, they don't show you everything though, Wayne. That's what I'm trying to say to you. You're not seeing everything.
It is. Remember, I said we go through storm, you know, it's enough people suffer, and I build back place for people, you know. So me I'm gonna tell you how it run. So me know how them run. Them not do nothing for nobody there. Them terrible. But them things is a strong building, like arena it built, so it now go blow it down. I have a cast roof, it now go blow it down. You understand me, Herb? If you have a zinc top and it have no hurricane strap and it to blow off, you run come in my house because me have a slab roof and me alright. You understand? So you can go up there, so you go one of the school them have cast roof and them thing that you stay in because you know until the zinc them stop fly, then you go home. It have to be more than that. For your house mash up gone down to the ground, Herb, where you live until your place erect up back or something. You understand what I say, Maria? Remember, I build enough place in Gilbert the people in the Herb. Yeah, man, I build enough place for people, man. Especially the old people, them, man. Free to the old people, them, want free. Yes, Maria?
Yeah, it is. I don't think the government was really prepared for the hurricane. They got, adequate warning. And the most I have seen them come close to being prepared was in the KCMC with Mayor Swaby and how he prepared for especially the homeless people. And it was really heartwarming to see how the homeless people were really cared for, and those who were moved into the shelter were protected. So I don't know how the government, given such advance warning, did not prepare enough. But the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management should be so prepared because Jamaica is in a hurricane belt. It is also in it's on an earthquake fault line. So you know that natural disasters are things that happen in Jamaica. So they should be better prepared for these eventualities. It's not a matter of if these things will happen, it's a matter of when. So they should always be preparing and replenishing their stock so that when these things happen, they are sufficiently prepared and the citizens can benefit. But the thing is, and you know what you're gonna hear? They spent the most money in order to provide more services, but the people on the ground are not going to feel it, but the money will be spent. So I'm really disappointed in how the government handled the situation. And then the Prime Minister came out and said there were 900 shelters. Minister of Water said there were 700 and something, and then the Minister of Social Security, he said, well, there were 600 and odd. 60 plus. So who do you believe? So they were just all over the place with their numbers. But I just feel for the Jamaican people and that the government is not really working on their behalf. All this talk, but nothing, no action. And when they say that, they want accountability and transparency. I don't care about accountability and transparency from the poor people who lose a roof and you're bringing them a tarpaulin. I don't need to see them signing for a tarpaulin. What we need to see is how the money that is coming into you, that is coming out of each ministry, that is given to each member of parliament, how exactly are those monies being spent? That is where we need the accountability. That is where we need the transparency.
Bad man.
One other thing you look at, Wayne, Kingston and St. Andrew, Kingston College and St. Andrew Tech serve as emergency shelters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're in the main Kingston area. St. Catherine High School and St. Jago High School serve as shelters.
Mm-hmm.
Bridgeport High School and Cumberland High School in Portmore serve as shelters. And then you have St. Elizabeth Tech and Monroe College. And you see how torn up Monroe College is, right? Because that's a direct hit. St. Elizabeth got torn up a bit too, but not as bad as Monroe College. Monroe College like 80% decimated.
Then the college tear up?
Yeah, man. Then in St. Anne, St. Hilda's, and Marcus Garvey Technical High School are shelters. And then they have a different set that the Office of Disaster Preparedness has more name in some other lists here, which they didn't list it.
You just count some lists in St. Elizabeth. Most of them are counting at St. Elizabeth. Monroe College, but it get damaged.
And St. Elizabeth Tech.
And them too. But if you have 900, you have more than 15 at each of them parishes. You tell the Prime Minister just stop tell lie. You understand? Because you count two school. Two school. And yes, still him tell so much lie. But why am I tell a lie for? Just stop it.
Well, he must be going by because with the schools, the populations can run high. In other words, if they go by classroom, some schools may have what? 2,000 students.
2,000. All right. So if you are 2,000 students then, and you say you have 900 shelter, even put them at 1,000 and 900,000 people that. So but you tell the world so the host them at Jamaica not good. He might talk upon himself, he might go on the host them not good if the host just mash up and stay bad. You nearly have 1 million people in a shelter. If it's a 2,000 or 1,000, 1.8 million that, 2,918. You understand? So when him talk all these things, he might talk crap, he might make the country look bad. He might say we make the country look bad, the Bratty. But he might say
But remember now, you know, that the conference center in Montego Bay was used as a shelter to house 50 tourists. I didn't hear anything about Jamaicans being included in that number of persons sheltering in the conference center, and they were constantly being monitored to make sure they were okay and everything was all right with them. And even the same shelters that they talk about, they weren't occupied. Very few were occupied, and anybody went there. I don't think any outside of Kingston and St. Andrew, I don't think any shelter, quote unquote shelter, had over 50 people in them. How many centers had over 100 people? I don't know how much these centers were really utilized. You know, I've not seen the figures on that, but it is not a good look for the government to come out and say they have 900 shelters, and then the discrepancies in the numbers, but at the same time you're housing tourists in a facility like the conference center and not Jamaicans as well.
No, why? Ratty. All right, so we just tell why the Prime Minister do that. If him go tell the world, say, I'm 900 shelter, you know, and then people in a shelter, you know, that means him can't beg more, you know. Him can't beg more. Because most of my people, them in that and beg more, and then we don't see where the money I go. Because they're not up in a shelter and all kind of thing. 900. But if I make the country look bad, we too lie. Yeah, Ratty.
Here's why the whole government narrative don't make any sense. They must define a shelter, because a shelter you can have a shelter for hurricane, meaning that if you're in there, you're protected from a category 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are different standards for that. You also have some shelter would mean that you're just there temporarily because your place mash up, right? Yes. Flooding or whatever. Not because this place where you're in that it can protect you from a category 5 hurricane. It's just a shelter. Yeah, and like you pointed out, when you have the fancy brick thing and you have a strong hurricane up, it will blow down that. It will blow up anything. The power and the ferocity of a category 5 are going to destroy the water. The roof gone, the brick with them use the decorative brick that gone. So a good, and then you have to have a shelter. If you really have the preparedness, you have to say, okay, this shelter is rated to protect against a category 1 through 5 or 2 to 5, whatever it is, hurricane. Then you have to have another one where you say, well, this is a shelter now for earthquake, right? Because Jamaica get hit with earthquake recently, frequently. Yes. Then, what happens is that when you talk about establishing these things, you have to say, okay, if we are going to do this, we have to pre-position supplies there. So we have to have beds, we have to have medicine, we have to have food, we have to have emergency medical kits and all that. That's how you pre-position things, like a FEMA type thing. That's how you do it. You don't come big after the thing gone. Right. And then the other thing too is Jamaica, Kingston and St. Andrew have almost half of Jamaica's population. So if a hurricane go head towards Kingston and St. Andrew, where you put all of them people there? Kingston and St. Andrew accounts for almost 1.2 or 1.2, 1.3 million people.
Yes.
And most of them people there, them house can't withstand a tropical depression.
Good. And then next door, Portmore, you add on the next 300 or 400,000 pound that. So
what you going to do with them people?
Them gone right there, so.
Yeah, if a hurricane come through the side there, come to the side and it start at Kingston and St. Andrew and move west. What you going to do with them people there? them people are, I'm not telling you what.
Think about this again now. Think about this now, brothers and sisters. Hear this now.
Hold on, 1 quick second. We'll pull up some stats. I'm going to look on this. From 1700, right, till 2019, Jamaica has been affected by 53 storms. 53. Since 2019,
yeah.
2019, we have, since 2019, we have, let me see how many storms we have. 2019, we have Elsa in 2021, Grace in a 2021, and now Beryl, right? So that's what 56 storms, right? You are gonna tell me, say, after 56 storms, going back to the 1700s, you still don't know how to prepare for a hurricane?
True, about 200 years, yes.
You still not prepare. You pretend like your first rodeo,
but
and you come out and tell the international press about what
900
highest level of preparedness,
yes.
prepared and informed, and the government is ready.
And spending yes in a informationalization.
Informationalization. Yeah, informationalization. Yeah.
Lies.
And then a few days after that, the hurricane, you start beg the diaspora, the people who you cuss and hate, you start beg them for flashlight battery, and you say you're prepared. Come on, Mr. P, man. Come on.
But Rattigan, you need to step back because you don't have any standing.
So, all right.
Cancel back.
The hurricane, the blew me back here.
Cancel back.
No, because I use so not for the place them in Jamaica in the rural part. They marry people maroon half in them shelter. So if you lock up in a shelter and you don't have no food, you don't have no bed, you don't have none of them supply, that made us stay and starve to death and all kind of thing. No medication and people sick. People have high blood pressure and everything. That cannot be a shelter. Shelter supposed to have these things, even a nurse, a two nurse or a doctor or something. You understand what I mean? So you cut off. The light post them drop down. The tree them block the road. They have land slippage. So how you reach to these people? How them survive? If them sick.
But you know, another thing too, Wayne, Wayne, Ratty and Herb, is that a lot of soil erosion is taking place because of the building of highways and more buildings. So the country is now going to experience more and more land slippage because of this. Forget even the beach erosion that is taking place. But the more they build, they sell off the lands and build these buildings and cut down the trees. There are no roots that would absorb some of this water and keep the soil together. So you are going to have more devastating hurricanes. It doesn't even have to get to a category 1 to be devastating in Jamaica. Tropical depression or tropical storm can have tremendous impact on Jamaica, can cause tremendous damage because of soil erosion. So homes are going to be washed away, and it's a low-lying. A lot of these areas are low-lying areas. Drains are not properly cleaned and maintained. So when you add all those things combined, it's just a recipe waiting for a disaster waiting to happen. So there's no pre-planning for these disasters, knowing full well that Jamaica sits in these areas that are prone to natural disaster. Where is the planning? Because if you notice, the Prime Minister, he was the director of Audit at one time, because he was the one out there talking. You'd think you'd see the meteorologist who studied this and know more than him. He was the one out there giving information. I'm like, why don't you remove yourself from the equation and let the experts do their jobs? When we see hurricane in other countries, you don't see the Prime Minister out there giving weather reports and presidents. You don't see that. So why is he giving weather reports and behaving like he's the weatherman, he's the director of Audit and all of that? It's 10 years late. It doesn't have to micromanage anybody.
I have a question for ask the panel. Where were the Prime Minister and the cabinet during Hurricane Beryl?
We don't see them, you know.
Because wherever them there are the same place the people them supposed to there. Them well protected.
Yes.
Wherever them there, that's the kind of structure them supposed to build for the people. I guarantee you, say never in the shelter with the decorative brick where you show. You never in that with the zinc roof.
Where send people?
Send people where you would have go. Or build a place for as a shelter where you would have want to go yourself. Pretend that you're just a common man. You're not the Prime Minister. That's the mindset. You think like all the ordinary Jamaican that think when it comes to things like this and say, okay, if I'm a common guy, all right, me a multi-millionaire, me live at Beverly Hills, me I make money, I'm everything nice. But me have to think like the people when me I represent. What about them people? When me would I want a place where sturdy enough to withstand it, would have not a place where food there, Would I want a place where bed there? Would I want a place where a doctor and nurse there? Would I want a place where medicine there? Would I want a place where in proximity to where we live? Would I want all of that? So why you can't do that for your people? 1.7 trillion unaccounted for.
Thank you. Thank you. Maria,
Ratigan, 1.7 trillion unaccounted for. Yet you have, they're so callous and disrespectful of the Jamaican people that they don't care to pilfer the taxpayers' pockets. And they're sitting there, and 2 more are added to the list of 6 that were talked about last year. So you see that they're just compounding the corruption, and no wonder the people cannot get adequate supplies in a disaster. No wonder they cannot have houses that can withstand, and then Herb, drink some water. No wonder they cannot have. No wonder no wonder they cannot have their constituents cannot have homes that can withstand a natural disaster because their members of parliament don't care about them. They don't care.
Maria, remember now that our illustrious Prime Minister said, you get the government you pay for, right? You get the government you pay. And so in doing that, it increased the wages. Have we seen an increase in responsibility, an increase in ingenuity, an increase in innovation, an increase in caring? We have seen none of that. So even with the increase with them claims, say, you're going to say this, we don't see none of it. Where was the imagination and the ingenuity when this thing accomplished? We need to pre-position supplies so that people after this thing, well, first of all, during it, we take care of them, and after it, we take care of them, get them back on their feet, because this is what true prosperity. This is what about caring about your people. This is it. Where was that? Absent, completely absent. Jamaican people, may I tell you, the evidence is before you. You are witnesses to this. And if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you become a participant in your own demise. And you cannot complain. You cannot complain.
They get the government that they pay for, because even with an increase in salary, they're still not getting any service out of the government. But here is the thing, because the people are silent when the Prime Minister is openly disrespectful of them and to them. You need not look no further than how he has violated the Constitution. You need not look no further. And when he walked out on his own government, his own country, and did not apologize, and he was still allowed to go back to Parliament and continue like nothing happened. So it's like they like to say, I saw the thing set, so they don't expect anything better of them. So they let them treat them anyhow. So the Jamaican people are at the mercy of these indisciplined, morally bankrupt politicians. And if they do not come out and stand up and say, enough is enough, then they're going to keep getting the same kind of treatment. Because you can look at the last local government elections. Yes, the PNP won most divisional council seats. But here is the thing. Why did they allow themselves to be bought? Because many people sold their votes, and it was there in the open. When you had a member of parliament saying at 9 o'clock he had 2 clusters still waiting to vote, and those seats were still allowed to go through, tells you the level of corruption, the level of acceptance of this kind of corruption that is at play. So until they stand up for themselves and demand of their politicians better, or tell them to get out, then they're not going. They're too quiet. They're too silent on the corruption. They're too silent on their own disrespect, with ill treatment. They're behaving like they're gluttons for punishment. And all the government is, when they want their votes, every ghetto youth is a star. After they get the vote, every ghetto youth must get radam. So they are the ones who allow themselves to be treated this way. They have to start standing up.
Ratty, I'm afraid of that radam thing there, you know. Hey, Angela, but I use them thing, the rad. But you know, when you have a pipe and you run it out, use them word, man. Rather men about to use. Even peanut bread come tell them say no use them word because they're foolish when they use the word rather. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So you got out something and them go use this. I just PR, you know, when call it mecanization?
Informationalization.
First of all, Ratigan, what's the origin of that word?
Yeah, look
what
it
is
up
the root?
Look it up.
Informationalize. You got a word where we will informationalization campaign. In got a word where we don't say information campaign or information, we leave with the information that and that. Informationalize. You have a word like that, yes, but you know nobody want to use that word informationalization campaign.
There's no such word. Word is what? Informatization.
Informatization. So land. You know, say informationalization campaign.
No, the word is informatization.
Oh, well,
Informatization, yeah.
Different thing matter. So tell me what I want to mean because I know it him say informationalization. So him build something that come with it.
Hold on.
Lies.
Hold on. Say a word. No, hold on. See it. You see, I'm on there something else, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There is such a word
yes.
on a Wikipedia. What? Wiktionary.
Mm-hmm.
May I look for the meaning of it? English.
That did not mean inability, so it might just go make something. Because
yeah, it come off informatization. That's the word where it come off.
But then again, Ratigan, context matters. Was the word being used in the proper context?
Them call that. Remember that word from English language in Jamaica. Them call it a malaprop when they use words out of place. Yeah.
Yes.
So we want to call the prime minister a malaprop now.
Remember I talk about Wakanda too, you know. Remember says a man where
a fake thing, yeah.
Be a fake thing, yes. So we call with the word name Ratty, we don't have one way.
Which one? We look for malaprop.
Yeah, no, the informer. Wait, say informer was.
Oh, informer. Yeah, hold on a second. But I don't want to kill after the command, man.
No, I'm killing himself, man. In my watch too, you know.
And watch.
Foolishness, man.
Well, they like to say that when a person is going to give a speech, they like to say, use the KISS format, keep it simple, stupid. He didn't. Yeah, if he had kept it simple, then we, wouldn't sound so ridiculous.
Informatization refers to the extent by which a geographical area, an economy, or a society has become information-based. So basically, I'm just saying he want to provide information to the people. That's all I'm officer. Just keep it simple.
You don't say information, but you don't say information. No, informationalization. Informationalization campaign. Come on now. You tie up your tongue when you say it. By the way, the highway, you don't say somebody highway when you be the highway and what have you. You saw the Grand Pen where we used to drive, then block off the road. Let me show you Grand Pen now because you don't say something. I'll show you the brand new road with them building now. That's all they say, We're in a St. Thomas, so after you pass 14 miles going out more Grand Pen, that's look on this. On the road. Look on the road there.
Why somebody need to check.
Let me just come back on the road. At the highway while that you see up there, so this was the road, and them lock it off, and I look on the little piece of mesh. You see it? You see it? You see the road there?
Yeah.
Look
why somebody need to check. This look like a joke, they need to make.
Already there, See them, Ratty? Them block off the road will come down and full it a mall. Yeah, so them cut off Grand Pen now, Because them carry it down, so them people have to walk nearly a mile go down some more. Look on them little thing where them do, and look on them all where it tick so. Look at that slide, go down there too, look at it.
A little piece of highway, this project. Oh, I tell you, see there? Grand spend that. So now I deal with pen, my friend.
I don't.
Oh, check on have to sort out that something.
That's what original.
That the local contractor them pies won't mind, man. They can't left this, so brother.
Yeah.
This can't work at east.
What?
Oh, sir.
That's gonna keep eating away underneath the highway.
One of the road I wash where this cars I yes, we used to drive first, you know, and go through Grand Spence. So I block it and I just pay them this mad and then roll it go way up on the top there. So put a little mesh, but it a wash me now. So the whole of the road where I'm saying highway to them need to fix that quick. Because I like it, I make them fix it quick before it wash. Too much
But what about? But you talk about that. What about the carpet that was being laid in Portland in Anne Marie Vaz was laying carpet? I see a carpet lift up. So what about that one?
It lift up.
And that didn't have 4 inches of asphalt. That might have had 2.
Inch.
Exactly, Sir Herb.
Yeah, 4 inches.
Waste of taxpayers' money.
Yep.
But remember when I just
that word there, no. That word there, people don't use that word there, no. We can't find a good, we can't find a good definition for it. You find informatization, you find that.
Informatization.
But informationalization.
No rules at all. Let me tell you all that I enter now and use. If the word we start use the word, and then the world start use it and them get a meaning feed now, Papa.
Yeah.
Then it enter in the dictionary, you know. We know that. But I try build something to make that sense. Like you come with Wakanda. He might always come with some things in as a Jamaican, you know. Why one is do these things? Stop it, man. But
he is right. He is the Prime Minister of Wakanda. It doesn't exist. Because he's a multi-billion. This is a multi-billion-dollar government, you know, where they do not spend anything under $1 billion. Every project is $1 billion. Before the hurricane, before Beryl was even out at sea, the Minister of Health said he needed $1 billion.
True.
That's how the minister.
True.
It's $1 billion government.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, them a feed the people. Say it's the next thing that's urban. If you look up on this, when you see it with Derek Smith's son, get the contract for feed the doctor them and the thing them 2.2 each. A 4.2 billion them getting. Remember Derek Smith the man give him son the seat. Remember no say them a royalty and they just get a seat when you step off of your throne. Remember no say Derek Smith one. And then them go give Elijah Clark. So it's a payback like O'Neil Lawrence. Remember when them give O'Neil Lawrence a job to be an advisor to a man when know the maritime man there. A fixed Pinocchio when name, the man don't know the sea. You remember O'Neil Lawrence from St. Anne man, he might get 5 points for be a me not even can swim. But he might be an advice to a professor. Yeah, a man that just study and do film thing. Because they want the seat for you. But they want the name the criminal one, the other one man, the teacher one there. Where him and them wife and them daughter in the education ministry. Where him name?
Reed.
Rural Reed.
Cruel Greed. Me no name as Reed, Cruel Greed. That one. See, you remember O'Neil that carry them a quote and thing and them give them carry him over here, so. No Ligel give that one here. I'm sure what Ligel give. Look on this. We never look on this, you know, because this serious. Let me show you me attack. Got your eye more me just say it took a while, you know. Let me show you me attack.
Open one of my brethren them you put up, you know.
Eh? No,
open one of my brethren them you put up.
No man, I put up one.
Stop, get the phone call them now, you know.
Yes. That's it. When you say you stop getting the phone call.
Yeah, I mash up my life now, man. My brethren them stop call, man.
I want to mash up more. Look at now. Look at. Doctor, put it up, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, see that?
Oh, some crackers and cheese.
Yeah, remember, you know what one of them get for this? 3 meals a day. 3 meals they're supposed to get, right? And say them come out for the 24-hour emergency call, hurricane. See them dinner, yeah? I'm sure the money where them get. And I'm sure the money where them get. And look who for son get the money. Look here. I'm going to go back for this who for son get the money. Look here. Look at who first one get the money. Look at the money. 2 of the money I'm getting now. You see how it is? I'm sending it to you right now.
For Charles.
Charles, I President Charles, brother that.
And to Mr. Dwayne Smith.
Yeah. So I think the son that. So when get there, billion, you know, to provide the food. Me don't know him as no chef, what you know? Chief Executive Officer.
But you see, but hold on there. You see what me I tell you? Because you know who should I get the contract, yeah? Who should I get the contract, yeah? Our like a virgin, you know. Well, I know you're a virgin.
Seen there?
Right.
Derek Smith, like him and his wife. And a President Charles, brother that the other one Charles, Dwayne Charles, them say him dead to the right. No, that one named Charles, Charles, brother that, you know. President Charles, brother. And then the one named Green. In the day on KCC and them move him up and do for him some big job. I don't know when they for him just big him coming like a piece of log, you know. Him for just go
Hey Louis, you're right. That am my virgin on the Magla on the morning show. Yeah, I am. But you know what? Them should have Mr. McCurdy as the executive chef. Him should have do the food instead of him take care of building.
Lucky. Me just get something with somebody. I wonder for this year talk. Yeah, talk. Can we get something today, you know? Yeah, talk. The sperm whale media, yeah, talk. The sperm whale media, yeah, talk. Sperm whale waits from the sperm whale black. A sperm whale media, yeah, talk about, right?
The face look like somebody me know.
Yeah,
Or somebody me see already.
Just get it today. Yeah, man. It's family attack. Oh.
But thinking about what $2.5 billion to give the doctors crackers and cream crackers and stale cheese. Here's the thing. There's a time when the hospitals used to have their own canteen, you know, and a cook staff. The food was provided locally, or they sourced it away. But the food was provided there, so no one was catering. It was provided on the hospital compound. The hospital had a kitchen, a canteen, and they also had dietitians on staff employed to the hospital, because when you have patients admitted, different patients want different things. So according to the diet, the food has to be prepared. So when did this become a thing that this is now being outsourced? $2.5 billion? And the thing is, but I would like to know, what are the meals prepared? What is that $2.5 billion paying for?
No, Maria, 4.2 billion, 2.1. Two contracts.
Yeah, 2.1. Sorry, it's 2.1 billion. But what is it paying for? Oxtail. Hold on. What kind of breakfast are these people? Because it is not only for the staff; it's for patients as well. And you are telling me about $2.1 billion for to provide food for a hospital. What are they getting? Oxtail and rice and peas and caviar? Because this makes no sense. Who is catering the food? Another question: do these hospitals have canteens like before? Because if they have a canteen, why then would you be catering? It doesn't make any sense.
Them send home, them close them down. I tell you, them make the money. I remember him a counselor, you know. The man who give him the contract.
Which should have exempted him from getting that kind of contract. Councillors and members of parliament should be exempt from profiting from the government outside of their salaries. They shouldn't be getting any contracts. Their wife, their cousin, who them sleeping with, should never be getting contracts from government. That is nepotism, cronyism, that's corruption. That is why Jamaica is in this situation where you have $1.7 trillion unaccounted for, and nobody, nobody's saying anything. That is why you can have the health ministry, over $700 billion. Nobody knows how it was spent, and nobody cares to investigate. Nobody cares to investigate.
Let me ask you something though, Herb.
Yeah.
We know that one where we know him as a chef and him having a business place where him having a big restaurant or something where him can supply these things. Or you give him $4.2 billion worth of contract to supply food.
We spoke about this earlier, and what it came down to, this is something like a single source award. In other words, it was never competitively bid.
No.
Now, can you imagine putting this out in an overseas newspaper for the diaspora, as well as local in the Caribbean and in Jamaica?
Yes.
To see who out there has the requisite skills to man a hospital cafeteria, right? And to provide a variety of food to patients in the hospital. But they didn't do that. They picked somebody and hand them all his money, right? And so now this person, according to what Kamla was saying earlier, 4 days before the contract award, they were out there recruiting for people. They did not have the necessary staff to execute. And then I was asking about, wait a second, you have staff already in place. Who is going to manage what aspects? Who's in charge? Right? And who is going to be the contracting officer, technical representative? That's the person who ensures that they're meeting the necessary standards on the contract. Because that person has to be very honest, and that person has to be able to put their foot down when certain contract conditions are not being met. And when you have these sweetheart deals, that's very hard to do, because those sweetheart deals mean that somebody up high wanted this to happen and made it happen. So we got a problem. We got a problem with the same type of corruption we talked about before, where there's nobody to oversee the necessary, how can I put it, necessary requirements for competitiveness in contracting, competitiveness in bidding. There's no competitiveness. So you might as well just keep bribing somebody and you get your own way.
Exactly, Sir Herb. So it's who you know, not who knows you. It's not who you know, but it's who knows you. Because if it was put to a competitive bid, then he wouldn't have gotten the contract. And if the government was really about good governance, accountability, and transparency, a council would not be getting that contract, because they would realize that the optics alone of it would tell them that it is wrong, but they do not care. And again, why are they doing it outside of the hospital compound and not on the hospital compound, where it is, I think, a more controlled situation?
Mm-hmm. They keep it away from the real people, from the workers. Workers will know something is up when they put things to happen within their midst. And workers probably would give the best advice of all, what would work and what would not work. But you see, when they want to change things and they want to shortchange the workers, this is how they do it. So let's see what happens when the new workforce comes on. Let's see if it's sufficient enough to manage KPH. Keep in mind, it's only 2 hospitals, KPH and Jubilee.
Yes.
Right? It's not the entire workforce that.
I said something to you.
Yeah.
KPH, sometimes I just one doctor, because I have a cardiac doctor, work for a 18-hour shift.
Yeah.
Them not the doctor there, and the couple nurse whether they want the thing like, it's a Nazi camp where them stand up in a little thing, like how prison and the warder stand up and look around you in a little beer. You have a little nurse or 2 with it and them a look around on the ward. I just a little 2 nurse up there. And then the doctor them there, you know, them just come run a morning shift and gone again.
Yep.
Gone again. And they say we do some operation. So who them could have cook for? And the little people them when them get a little egg and a little dirty piece of bread, and if you know eat certain little things, them a business. If you have ulcer stomach or not, them just come up with some little that thing. Why is it that the hotel no give people contract like this and give them? Them not do that. Them employ chef and them have kitchen and them have 3,000 room and them feed them guests and you spend your money. So why is it not cheaper for the government just buy the raw material, buy the raw food and everything and have them kitchen, them canteen, and prepare the food and deal with it? It don't work out cheaper. So you have, if a 3 years contract, you have to pay 700 million per year to them people there for prepare what? Yeah. 700 million per year, 3721. A $2.1 billion that for 3 years. It don't make no sense. It's a highway robbery. And by the way, and nepotism and cronyism. You see who get it? And nobody now say nothing. Nobody, you know, I'm not turning the nobody at all now come out and say nothing. This wrong, you know. Them thing have to stop in Jamaica, you know.
Well, do we know what the contracting requirements are under government regulations?
Them not have no regulation for them one. Them won't go attack.
They gotta have some standard.
Right. So now, like it's a restaurant of Jamaica get the contract, or some you know you have some big restaurant and them go, no, we don't know this guy running a restaurant. We don't know a restaurant to him own which one. Even if a fast food, we don't know it. We don't know it. But yes, still him get a contract for a cook. But rather than him from Riverton and sit down, we don't know him cooking for go away. Or you take a contract like that and give. By the way, why you never even make people cook and then charge the food? It'll work out cheaper. Because if a man don't take a plate of food, or you don't have 100 plate of food, or you serve 500 plate, you know, not serve so much. But say you have 500 plate of food a day. Oh, that are equal to 700 million for the year. Some people have them little restaurant that sell 1,000 food and them can't see that money. Because them have to go back and buy them raw stuff and buy back, you know. You understand what I say? If you go deal with them thing and pay them staff, oh, you give so much money for what? Eh? That's why we money are chop all over the place. It's a foolishness. That mean the hospital I give them friend. We want to know who get the contract them. That mean them I give them friend billions of dollars. That's why them can't buy medication and nothing for the people them. Because of them friend I get the money out about contract for them now prepare what and dry and nasty cheese. Me not eat cheese in the people. Leave it to rat. Not ratty, you know. Not ratty again, not ratty mess a rat. Yeah, say you have ratty again, ratty different. All right. Yeah, so me not eat cheese. So, you know, me not born out to eat cheese, you know. Them can eat them cheese, them good. Me not eat cheese. See? But cheese and crackers, man. And that cheese they run stead, man. 700 million a year. 3 years a while.
This is what the Jamaican people have allowed themselves. They have been accepting it for such a long time that they come to expect this kind of treatment and know better. And when there's no standard set. There's no standard set whatsoever. So the Jamaican people have now become gluttons for punishment from the government. So they can do anything to them, and they're the same people who will go back and vote in these people, vote for them, tell their votes for $5,000 and a box of chicken to go have fish fry to put up them upstairs or them downstairs or wherever. And the majority suffer. You cannot, I don't know how much more we can reason with the Jamaican people and say, stop selling your votes because you're getting what you're paying for. Because when you sell your votes for $5,000, you're giving them a job for 5 years at millions of dollars per year. And what are you getting in return? They do not care about the people, because when I hear Christopher Tufton talk about health and wellness, and you must eat properly, and you must, how can you eat properly when in the hospitals your people are providing crackers and cheese for you? You see, it doesn't make any sense. And he's being paid how much billions of dollars to provide it? What is that money giving is supposed to provide? Because I don't know. I don't know because it makes no sense. You're giving money to people who are not qualified for the jobs that they're assigned. And that is what we have seen running through the length and breadth of this government, that people are in positions that they are not qualified for. What is this man? Is he a nutritionist? Is he a chef? What is his claim to fame that he got a contract for $2.1 billion to provide food for hospitals?
Maria,
What is his profession?
People, so Maria asking profession. Let me show you something again, people. See the man a top chef. Look up, let me show you something again, people. Maria just asking position, My sister just ask me, I show you something. Hold on, Maria. Look on the man, look here. Who can cook like them people here? Look here, Maria. People look on the food. Delicious food. I wonder if them can see good. What are they?
Well, yeah, dumpling, banana, and what?
No, man, see, let me say them can see good.
Crackers that.
Look on cook. Look, hey, delicious people, look here. Look what him cook. Eh?
Crackers and cheese.
2.1 billion, look here. And look on the stush box, Maria. You think anybody can cook dumpling and piece of stale cheese, crackers and piece of stale cheese? You think it take an expert have to cook that in a people. Crackers and stale cheese, Doctor have to put up that. Eh? Look at them, look on this. It's so bad. So them don't have no no medication. Them not have that. Them not have the bed and everything. You know what thing $2 billion that I could have buy? Man get 4 billion, 4.2. Come have Spanish town too, You have the Spanish
But
town.
wouldn't it cost the government less money if they had a canteen, maintained a canteen on the hospital compound?
Yeah, but them lock it down, them close it down. And start them close it down because they want to do this. Them close it down.
Yeah, that's unfortunate though, because that's the expensive methodology they're going with. And it doesn't make any sense. That much money for 2 hospitals doesn't make any sense. Somebody need to audit this all the way.
Yeah.
But Sir Herb, you see how they put the farmers out of business? Because the local farmers, they could source their food from local farmers. The vegetables and the fruits can be sourced locally. So when they shut this down and they're now going to go to somebody to provide this, he doesn't have to do work with any. Which farmer provide those crackers and that cheese? And no wonder the health of the people gets worse, because in the hospital setting, you think that they'll be going there to get a proper nutritious meal based on their health requirements and all of that. But this is shameful. This is shameful. And to remove the canteens from the hospital and then put it into the hands of a private person is despicable.
But you think about this. When you're sick and your body weak up and you not eat for days and then you try them myself for feeding them, that try the hospital first time down to them that start the panic soup back. And that we see, and some stale cheese and crackers and some foolishness where you can't eat. And then get a boiled egg and get some cup of tea where you not drink in the morning when it make no sense. Because you not eat that. We couldn't in the hospital come in and eat egg. And them the business them a carry it come same way. And I like them a take them and give where you eat, You have to go eat that alone, you not eat it, so you just starve same way. So tough to starve the people them to death same way. So you not get better. You come out in a body bag. And when you come out in the body bag, Ratty. You end up over the Archer. Archer get the contract to,
We'll make some more money off of you.
Hey, them money we kidding, brother.
From cradle, what them call it? Cradle to grave. Profit.
Archer get your body. Let me
see the picture again. That look like, is that styrofoam? Or plastic, right? Styrofoam, right?
I don't think, I think they stopped using the styrofoam.
Yeah, I think that one degradable or something.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if that is on the banned list though.
I may not think that
I
one.
don't think so. I think that's the good one.
That's the one. This is the one where
Yeah.
But the cheese, though, that cheese.
No, the reason I mention it too is because we know them ban styrofoam, but also some people put in the chat that the container more expensive than the food, than the crackers and the cheese.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. So they don't. You see, what Vatican do is it's a government that does not put value on the Jamaican people, because they will borrow money for needs and not to improve on the education system. They will go and sign up, take out insurance for hurricane insurance, and when you look at the language of the insurance policy agreement, contract, whatever you want to call it, they will never in this lifetime or next collect on that insurance. Never. So it's a government that is not forward thinking. They are not thinking about the needs of the people and how best they can implement strategies and policies and legislation to better the lives of the people. They're only bettering themselves. They're getting richer, wealthier, while the people that elect them, put them in office, are getting poorer and worse by the day. And Beryl just magnified all of that. All of that. So if we were wondering whether the government is doing its best and is working as it should for the Jamaican people, Beryl just blew the lid off that and revealed the very underbelly of an ineffective government, and a government that does not give a rat behind about the people it is electing, it is serving, because they consider themselves above the people. They're not even considered servants of the people. They're serving themselves, because if they consider themselves servants of the people, there's no way you could have one person on the investigation for illicit enrichment, let alone 8+. And so, in my opinion, all 49 are suspect. All 49. Yeah. And those people who are under investigation are getting taxpayers' dollar. So who does that? Why has the Prime Minister not come out and say, remove himself? Because the mere fact that he's between himself and the IC, they are now pen pals, pen friends. Now between them, writing back and forth, then one can deduce from that he quite likely is under investigation, because why then are they writing back and forth to them? And then the IC says that the people who are under investigation are notified that they are under such investigation. Why have they not removed themselves from Parliament in the interest of good governance, transparency, and accountability, and in the interest of the Jamaican people? Remove yourselves from office. Have the moral compass to remove yourself. Have some respect enough for yourself to say, something, I'm going to step aside. And here's the disrespect and the wanton disregard for the Jamaican people. It was said 6 last year. You would think that members of Parliament would say, something, I don't want my name on that list, and make sure they do everything above board and by the book. But no, 2 more were added. So they're telling that they don't care. No regard, it's just wanton disregard and disrespect of the Jamaican people. Period. They do not care. So it's incumbent on the Jamaican people to hold them accountable and vote out all 49 of them, because it's Alibaba and the 48 thieves. And so the only way there's no accountability. No, we don't know who. You say you're not calling any names. We don't know who it is. So then we have to say all of you are suspect. And because all of you are suspect, we have a trust deficit there. And the only way to deal with it is to remove all of them. All of them.
I'm going to say something to you.
I'll put
it up now. I'm going to play this fast. Them 2 nurses. Them 2 nurses look how them nurses are live good people. Down in a Lucy. Look at them nurses. Boy, I tell you tough time. Boy, the people them have live lovely indoor. Look here. We know they never see this before.
It's a nurse that I'm pretty. I will start first. First starting.
Run out one and the lady and something, man. I don't report.
Yeah, man, in Jamaica, you know.
Yeah, no, fine.
And in a workplace, you know, I have to play about that. And in a workplace, you know.
You know, it's not that I will start first. I will first start.
Run out one and the lady and something, man. I don't report.
You know, it's not that
the world get crazy though, you know. Jamaica get crazy after website. You know.
All right. The reason I'm asking if it's right up, and we discussed it earlier in a thing the program, Waters Vibes, is that the real issue for me is not the outsourcing, because outsourcing, prison outsource, airlines outsource, as long as them can say where it has saved them money, right? Where them say, okay, if we can get the same quality food, same quality service, and we can outsource it to somebody, then fine, make them make our money, and then we have less what to have to worry about, and then we make our money.
Don't move on this. One thing, but in a Jamaica context though, when them outsource something, them give them sweetheart like 85 million for market me, or them give them other brethren or like don't know him get the tax. So when them outsource, and now outsource your little man eat food, or some other people in a society themselves, them are criminal, them are don't work in a Jamaica context.
Yeah, hear me I say. Outsource, and maybe that's what we need to look at. Outsourcing in and of itself is not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea if you can do it. Here's the real problem in a Jamaica, and people want to look on this chart. The ones who never see it earlier, you can take a look at it. This is the amount of contracts that them give out, the Jamaican government gave out last year, right? And if you look right here, you say 20,278 contracts, single source. You know what that means? That's exactly what you are talking about. With them give to a person. Them give to one person. Restricted bidding. Yeah, restricted bidding is almost not, it's close to it where they are just like two people. Yeah, with restricted, not the whole, not everybody can bid for the contract.
Them bid it to Ratty like.
Yeah, right.
Ratty like now have a wife for kind. And then she have a cousin, and then put it to fear cousin and put it to his so restricted.
Right.
Yes.
So if you look at this, and this, by the way, this is coming from the Integrity Commission, right? See it right at the top, Integrity Commission, the latest report. And if you look at it, look right here. Of the 31,419 contracts awarded, 20,278 are 65% were issued using this non-competitive procurement method of engagement. Right? Then look at the next part of the sentence. Whilst the most competitive bidding methodology, international competitive bidding, was used to award 184 contracts, less than 1% of the contract in Jamaica them go for open bidding. Now, if you look at restricted bidding, look at the last sentence, right? 4% or 1,165 contracts were awarded using the national competitive bidding methodology, while 9,184 or 29% of contracts were reported as awarded out of a restricted bidding procurement process. So people, you know what that mean? That means of all of the contracts, of the 31,419 contracts that the government gave out for fiscal year 2022 to 2023, 94% of those contracts were not for open bidding.
No.
94%. More than 9 out of the 10. 9 out of 10 contracts then were not provided on the open market. There's no open bidding. Them give to them friend, or them have a restricted thing where only 2 or 3 people would have bid, not the whole thing. So only less than 1%. Less than 1% was open bidding where anybody could have bid. Less than 1%. So that's the problem.
That's the problem. And the problem is, Ratty, when you take that, you say, oh, shake and I get this, the man have restaurant. Like you run a chain of restaurant and you run this or that, see, nothing like that. Them just get a man and just give him a contract. When you look at him at the council the same way, fit this so, and when you look, I'm father was the member of parliament and now the finance minister, the member of parliament. And him father the one get the seat and then him get contract for silencing. That name nepotism, cronyism and corruption, straight corruption, straight chopping.
But that is a very telling part of the story. That it's not only outsourcing, it's how them issue the bids. You know, how them issue them don't issue it. Them give to them friend and them compadre, them and them family. Them give to them. And look at the number, man. 94% of the contracts issued by the government of Jamaica. 94% will never see a true competitive bid process. It's either one person that go get the contract, or them have like 2 or 3 of them say, okay, only you 2 people can bid on it. Right. A restrictive bidding.
But then again, people, if you get them contract, them farm shell companies. So when you look under the shell company, you see the name them who own them. Yeah? Them have shell companies. So me have a money in that, me not have to touch it, and me have a money in that, and me not have, but name a name. It's bad. Yeah, man. So this very bad people. Very bad. Government can't continue to behave like this. You understand? And that's why enough of them can't declare them statutory declaration, because the amount of money they make within themselves. Them know why you're going at that. And that's why Andrew did move the thing for 70 years, you know. Ratty.
Right. Me know, so you don't get a chance to see it, yeah.
I mean,
can't
see Maria, and I know most of it there, so we not go see. Because you have 70 years, pa, we know it, man. In 70 years, not even him at their own. So when them go pull that, I see them, I say, boy, don't you want to sit down with this? But when you talk about that, in gone a long time. 70 years. Can't write, man. Can't write. So if you done, some people have start go to prison too much.
Fight for the crows now. I don't fight.
Much nepotism and causing one can, man. You understand? Too much of that, man.
Oh, somebody was asked what's the budget for the IC? It was 1.5 billion.
Yeah, 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5 billion. But think about it. 1.5 billion, and then our minister of health say we gonna need 1.1 or 1.2 to fix back the hospital them. And at the same time, him say, but here what? Cause last week, Thursday or Friday, him said no, suppose Friday, him said. And him said, but here what? You say on Monday, everything will be back to normal. All the hospitals will be running, normal capacity. I said, then why you need 1.1 billion if it go back to normal in 3 days? Me not understand that. Chop much.
That's happening, man. Hey, them not easy, Then just come out, everything is $1 billion now, When they don't chop your worries, man. Our worries. And they need to stop these things. Need to stop. You understand? People tired of this now, Them really tired of it. Yeah? And by the way, as me I said, no, Prime Minister, we are begging you, please and thanks. The people them want back the light. Because Ratty, a lot of people complain to me, them say on the phone, through them now have them the light. With them that use them router. Them internet. The data on them thing now can't pick it up so strong or nothing, So it hurt them and them say them now listen to transistor radio, Because they don't want the bag of corruption and the thing and the fake news, they don't want to listen it. So them have to watch us. But like the Prime Minister suffer them from not watching us, like he must say, we try detox, because we not get too wise, So we are suffer them little more and see if them can cut off, the man in the wilderness and the rebel them and Herb T and Maria and, the whole Fantastic Five, them and, the Titans and the whole. So them try detox the people, them, from the good. And so don't listen to them. So the longer them take, but the people them get really weary now. People them can't stand it no more. And them ask if you just tell the Prime Minister to be careful. I could play this now because people are 12 days we have, 12 days. And everybody, it don't matter what it, hey, it's near my jolly time.
Jamaica Diaspora Crime Intervention and Prevention Task Force, in association with the Global Jamaican Diaspora Council, presents on the 26th of July 2024 Jamaicans and Friends of Jamaica. Join us in conference as we speak against corruption, crime, poverty, failed healthcare, poor education, and injustice in Jamaica. This takes place on the 26th of July at 1320 Ellesmere Road, Ontario, Canada. This conference starts 3 till 10 p.m. Guest speakers on the day: Wayne Lonesome, Will Rattigan, Mystic Sensation, Herb Nelson Jr., Aromatic, Sister Maria, Jamaican Carlos, Dr. Rupert Francis, Jeffrey Tavares, and more. This is going to be a very important event for all Jamaicans and friends of Jamaica. Don't miss this event if you care about our country. Jamaicans in the diaspora, we can make a difference.
Friends, that's why them afraid now. Because when you look Big Mama run out the other day, I talk about 2. And we look all no white church run out, I mean black widow run out. The whole of them run out, you know. Peter King people, them run out. All kind of people run out and talk about foolishness, but it not work. You understand? Right? None of them want this again. Them said it, I do something, right? Pay master.
Oh, yeah. She sold Herb. The ambassador. Does she own any? My understanding is that she owns some shares. I think 49% or whatever. In a PMaster. I know 51% is.
No, she lost out on that. Because the guy that rewrote the software, he took her to court and she lost in court. So she gave it all up.
So she has no interest at all.
Nothing. Yeah, right.
All right.
So them suspend it now. So if she did have something, them want to suspend it. That's what them are working on.
Well, there's some chicanery they must have found money laundering going on. They had to. That's why.
Yeah, but them still allow them to operate business under the sub though. They can't do
under the sub. Yeah, they can operate. But that don't stop the investigation going forward.
True.
It's a prince, so no man, Andrew King, no, the Andrew Jamaica, no, damage goods. If I don't want Jamaica, you attack Peter, damage goods. Him damage man, him no, sir. Body knows him can't go on, but he can't trick nobody again. You know, him, can't remember him can't come out with the same lie. Then you have to sit down and watch Andrew come and tell be a lie. Look on a lie, what Andrew tell me, I have to play about this, I have to play about this, you know. I have to play this again, you know. Where him there? John, no, where him the man? Move him. Oh, me not move him, you know. Let me see this. None of this. I move him,
man. The man say, my liar, man.
How do the people of these communities survive?
Water will run from the pipe. I show you all kind of color.
St. Elizabeth is known for its rainwater harvesting.
Them water they can't just drink.
When I used to spend summers with my grandfather in Goshen, we got water. I used to spend summers with my grandfather in Goshen. We got water collected from the roof.
And the clean water.
Stored in a tank.
We tried already.
And
we eat and we drink water in the pipe and all my belly.
The most refreshing water I have had came from that tank.
It's a run your belly.
It's run your belly. He lied. And you just pick up some straight while him go along, you know, just tell be a lie, you know. And the dangerous, you know. And the dangerous man. I'm lying here tell man. In dangerous man. Maria, you know, say dangerous man. Eh? Ratty lover one there, you know.
Yeah, man. Hey. Send it to me, man. Send it to me.
I said it to you, Ratty. I want to say them mash me up and they expose me. Look how me I tell me like a long time and see them there. So I don't want to help team wait, man. Yeah, man. That's when I ran for the man I really like a head sick. So when I ran for him, well Ratty, and Ratty head sick too with us, I realized because Ratty run me well last week and said, go away.
Them draw me out.
Let me get you know. Now them say, well on there. But Ratty hard man. I say, all right, you got to go Ratty so. Yeah, Herb get out mad pan them the other day. Herb say, hey, carry them down so I can tie them pan then. Shark. I say, well on there. Yeah, so well on. Herb tough man. But Herb serious, you know. Ratty. Then think of some joke thing, then nobody will say, I see what's thing on here. Eh? Sister Mariana right neither, you know. Look here.
I get warm, man. I get warm.
Yeah, man. So when them see this, say them
no, man.
Your sister. Yes, Herb T. Not here, Maria. Maria?
It's Maria. Maria, you having problems?
I was saying that Rattigan was saying that yes, I can move from one area, and I think we're to, from one area. So, Rattigan, so he said it is like, that is not really Rattigan. So I give him the money. Give him the money. Okay. But you're right. Give them the money, give them the money, send the money to your people, and give the government the money. I'm like, but you're right. They cannot be trusted. And Rattigan, I was listening to somebody on your program yesterday about his not for profit. I wouldn't give him a line, a letter, not a 50 cents.
Yeah, that's Courtney Cephas, yeah.
Yes. Cephas.
Yeah, Courtney. Yeah, he runs the one of the charitable organizations for the health ministry, and I guess some other things. But through him, and then him actually kind of like work with customs so that you can get the things in the country. But people, I guess people weren't they weren't impressed with the things that they heard. I mean, that's the feedback I'm getting, I thought it would be a helpful thing so that people actually use the services. Because I know people go down there with things and it get left on the wharf because them use the wrong paperwork or
he is building out. That is where he lost me when he said building out. Jeffrey asked me and Kevin asked, where can we see your documents? Because if he's a not-for-profit, his organization is public information, which means they must go there and see it. And they asked him about, and he said, I am building out. Brother, you're building out. We're closing ranks. Yes. So we cannot give to somebody who is building out. There are organizations that are built out and have boots on the ground and have a reputation of being honorable and standing. Why have worked with those? And the minute he came out of the Ministry of Health,
but Jeffrey tell the man say, but sir, I'm asking, when did you come into existence? The organism man said 2022. I'm saying, but you mean to tell me from 2022 till now you still have below the website?
Well, yeah. So where Jeff I give my to me ask Patterson I look at thing. When I give my thing like what Patterson do me, like what Patterson talk to me.
Yeah.
Patterson go around me. I say, when me say, more interview you.
No, you ask him if I'm going to a full slate of candidates for the election. He say, yeah. And he say, so can you give us the names? And he say, no.
But that I got to me off no. Somebody say, but more interview with them.
Yeah. After you ask him about 3 or 4 times, I'm going to tell you no. You say, but how we are going to promote them? We want to promote. Him say me not go no name.
Him not give a name.
Hey, hold on. Anybody win? Did anybody win in the seat from the party there?
No.
Toilet.
No?
No.
You know toilet, Ratty.
No, because
I go up and them say seat, and I say, give me my seat. Them say seat in a toilet.
no, but
Seat
no, but you remember say, look, put out a little brochure or flyer with some candidates for local government, I believe. And then loan someone say, no, I Photoshop the uniform and put it on some people. The man didn't have no candidate at all, man, they're liar. Somebody asked what party? UIC. But I think it mashed up now because the lady who came on, remember the lady come on, Herb? Remember the lady who came on?
Yeah, she took over.
She gone.
He wasn't supporting her.
Yeah, she gone.
He wasn't supporting her. So, if she left,
See, if you want something to rise, make it rise, but you can't be a stumbling block. If you want to be a stumbling block, go up on one of the roof and the hurricane come like what I'm just saying. They just want to stumble, they say, stand up to the way, man. You understand? Don't do that. It's like nobody else, my farm this, so nobody else can. And I said, that is a personal thing. If you
hey, you know what happened? I remember me asked a question the other day when them said them will pass the legislation for people who are put out fake news. And me asked the question and said, would that apply to parliamentarians too? If parliamentarians, if them put out fake news, if them could be arrested, then if a regular person could be arrested. What's interesting?
But that a tramp upon people human rights. Because you have some people who don't believe in a certain things, and they are mythical, there are people who believe in a myth, So you can't pass a law, you can't tell a man the same. Him say Wakanda. It's a mythical place. That's from 1960s.
But here's me bring it up. Me bring it up for that reason. You know, normally whenever a newspaper or a news media outlet they make a mistake, them if it's a Gleaner or something like that, them come back and print it and say we regret the error and things like that. And if it's a traditional radio station, them say it over the ear that they make a mistake. Yes. Have you heard the nationwide radio come out and talk about the integrity report where them say is only 2 now when it's 8? How about the Gleaner? Have you heard from the Gleaner? Anything from the Gleaner?
No, them just silent. I know that. Just go back to Big Mama again. Panther not own the big luxurious apartment. Go back to Big Mama again. Granny Subaru will never get shut up by nobody. Them have illegal gun too. Yeah? And it shot and take out the glass and take the glass and take the car windshield, and take it out and drop it front of it. Come say, and grab it and block it up, crumble it up and then put it out and drop it this. Big Mama them fool, what do these things? And them lock him up. Because Catches bully a part of them. And then go burn up a Big Mama to break this too, down a parliament, down a Henry Morgan, so them firebomb it. Yeah, firebomb. And from a chat and show them, so there's nothing no go, sir. Hear nothing else. Nothing else. Nobody not follow nothing. And Big Mama come up with the raping up at the PMP office about the woman, about the reporter said people are rape her, say them are rape her. And hear nothing else. So Big Mama come out and do all these kind of things all the time and tell about a lie.
So what I don't know. You mean to tell me, say, that we're not gonna really see anybody get arrested for the Boscobel, the airport thing, because we've been promised that we're going to get arrested pretty soon.
That means a fake news and give it to Catches bully, because him not arrest nobody. Says a fake news that them never plan for arrest nobody. Yeah, Catches bully, man. You can't be a bully, so you can't. Catches bully. You see? You can't. Catches bully and the police. Yeah. I'm a virgin sitting and laugh, I'll Andrew my laugh, I'll catch his bully, I'm going to think catch his bully and I laugh, He must say, look, my wife there and I hear them thing, look at the man there willingness about the secret. Yeah, catch his bully. The woman forget her paper. I make her name. She do her test, Ratty. She do her test, don't have me a pen police station more than one of them, Catch his bully has to carry the catches come. She said she carry the catches, go get catch his bully. She get the letter. Because I remember she passed the test, but you have I think I interview where you do. When you look at my car, more catches, carry catches. So she come.
him have an account there, so. Look
Yeah,
at
like a film bank account. Catches. Every minute, but catches are arm to you. Catches bully. So the catches bully stick. And other woman complain about catches bully. Me know my wife might have watch, you know, say, no food, sardine. And then him go and brother. Him go and brother when him brother go eat it and complain, you know. That's a thunder belly, you know. Him go complain. Me here catches bully me the side of you, you know. Me the side of you. Him go down there, wife no cook and him go down there and complain. She no cook. She rush him. She must have rushed me now, because I know she watch this, you know. But I say, you see, you make man of the wilderness, you are them thing embarrassing for me. You're not sleeping at tonight, you know. You go for go on, so. Catch his bully. And you see what I'm doing? You see what I'm doing? The one of them, you know, the plot to get rid of Ron James, you know. Ron James, if you watch this, the one of them.
Yeah, if you talk about Ron.
Yes. The whole of them. Catch his bully, Google to and the whole of them in the one platform move you from the chairman.
You know what disappointing?
Yes.
You know, you kind of expect that the police commissioner and you know the high-ranking police officers and the minister of national security that they would naturally be upset and they wouldn't support them. Not gonna support Chairman Ron James. But the disappointing thing is that I don't see the turnout of support from the rank and file people who stand up for. So them could have, I remember knowing all of this happened because the man, well, the main reason was because he might fight for them overtime pay, you know.
Yes.
And so one overtime pay now the correct amount and to be paid on time. Right? And because the court gave them 1 year and it was supposed to be done last year, March. And here it is now, up to now, it's still not completely done yet. And I would have think so the man them would have rally behind him and things, but I don't see the kind of support. I don't see it.
You don't see it either. You don't see it. And that hurt me now because you see me, that's how I couldn't do loyalty over royalty still, you know. If you touch one away, you know, you me not talk, you have to watch me, you know. Because when you mess with one away, you mess with all away knocks. I saw me grow up, I saw me live, I saw me born and grow up. Serious to God. And I saw everybody where you see come from in my place, I saw me live with it everywhere. You touch one away, you touch all away. You never know. Yes, man. So some group, I deal with loyalty over royalty. We don't have more chatting with some people where, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, and them
you see what them do? You see them.
You why me not for them kind of style. You have a man who look out for you, and me couldn't be a police and me not come out and tell them straight, you know. Because you can't fire we. Even if you want, I'm not gonna handle the room neither. I'm not gonna start, because I'm gonna diss them. But you have some police who say, but me no want more a little promotion, so I'm gonna bend over. You know, me for sure man and bend over because I want promotion. Male and female, you know. The both of them do the same thing, you know. Where you think a woman alone? No, the male them are bend over too. You never know. I show them hand because they want the promotion. So them throw Ron James under the bus. Them are part of it to rat and a joke me I make. Them not serious. And a baby going to the force, a big people going to the force. You understand? Some young people, you know, 18 now, over 19, 20. And like 2-year-old are going to the force and 3-year-old them talk to you and deal with you. No. They might do a job like you. A matter of fact, a year foot up on the ground. You have the boot on the ground. And you should have stood up for the chairman. Them have over 12,000 and them are not even 1,000 them that come out and say, yo, we're not even at work.
Right.
Just
go slow or something.
That we are talking about.
Yeah. Because them can't take, and a lot of them can't take industrial action, but them can go up and go slow. And sick. And sick out.
Yes. But all the law, when they say we can't do it, we'll break the law now because if the Prime Minister break it.
But you know what? To the chairman's credit, him come out and say to them, say, please don't take no industrial action because them know them can't strike that far broke the law. Because him say, we want to protect Jamaica. That show the integrity of the man.
But remember the police, them, all right. Look on this, he must set up for them. Them did go down, so when them did want their money, them did go down at King Street. No, for them to get down, a police they get down there.
Remember.
So why you not do the same thing for you?
Right.
Why not do the same thing? You could have do the same thing. People are joining, you know. The whole of Jamaica that come here come and because them know says nice. No, that better
them doing
it's just a demonstration of how politically divided Jamaica truly is. Same thing in the police force. Right? They pick sides. They pick sides where they think their bread is buttered. They can get toast and butter on both sides. That's how they look at things. There's no loyalty anymore. There's no friendships, no kinships, right? So everybody is like every man and woman for themselves. Well, this is where you need leadership to go in there and really forge a team as one, right? And the current leadership they have is not capable of doing that. Absolutely not. And so it's very disappointing because you have good people who will leave the force because now that you have, that here in Washington, D.C., they will give a police officer a green card if they're coming in from a foreign land. And think about this. You have so many Caribbean people in this area. They'll accept a police officer from any of the Caribbean states and give them the green card and put them to work. So just like the teachers and the nurses, you may have an exodus of police if the U.S. in all its cities opens up that program to everybody. Then people will believe it. That's the bottom line. It's just a damn shame. Our people are professional. Our people are very good. But when it comes to working at the national level, too much politics. Too much politics, and nobody wants to put up with that crap.
So before we wrap up, because we know so I'm not gonna stay hungry like dog, I know say me hungry like a dog right now, so me just tell you, me just declare my hand, me not call nobody give today. Me not gonna make ratty say nothing now, me just tell you me hungry like a dog.
See, you give Ratty his release, and he's happy. He's clapping. Yeah.
Hey, where's say Patria Row? That nastiness, yeah, man. One of them are fight James. Him a nastiness. Him stand up and talk today. The former National Security Minister, don't he? Patria Row, that same nastiness. Him did that in a group and a chat to Ron James, Me intercept it, You remember say the eagle fly all over the place, And him talk about them up them invite him and all kind of things. Him, So him a look the little promotion. You can hear a man named Patria Row, say Mama Lashy, say him the right name, Patria Row. You think that lady may attack, right? But Mr. Patria Row, right? I didn't expect a Patria Row.
No, man.
What your father and mother think of, if you call you Patria Row, again name Patria. That's why you want a Patria, some man. Them live by Ron James' name, and them, I feel them hell bent for sink him. You sink him. But Ron James, but know if you now watch this, you better them watch it and call you and say, hey, go tune in. Because, we hear them talk about you and what have you. Yeah, let me tell you this, man. Stand strong. And if you fire your liar, why you liar? Open a while, man, Fire him. Open him. That's laugh. That's say, a man in the wilderness question up there, laugh. No, but if I while, man, I'm lying for fire him. Yeah, how I'm lying, Ratty? You hear anything? Open up, well, him be fire him. You lie and I do something good. Fire him. Not working, fire him. Him forget fired. You have to be careful.
But you blaze up on you. Man, earlier the man blaze up you, I blaze up some fire underneath you. I say you forget fired.
Are you a liar?
I'm liar, yeah. I'm lying.
Anybody a liar, fire him. If I'm lying, and forget fired.
But you are going with things, You are going with things. Why you want to fire him?
Yeah?
Why you want to fire him?
And then the man today have a court date. I'm in a ear. Come in get a paper where I know the judge don't answer about nothing at all from long time. Me no hear the judge, me no hear nothing going, it's stuck. So it's coming like
You could ask him them.
And then if I'm liar that, then film liar are supposed to even file something against Big Mama for a long time. So all that not file. So,
oh yeah, you're right. The medical, the release of the medical records. Yeah.
Yes, any liar where you have should I tell us I'm go for Big Mama because my medical thing shouldn't release on them thing there. And if that now file it or not, never fire him. And if
you know what happened? You know what happened? If you talk to him, make him. I'm sure he understand, but just remind him because come that time when he decides him go file it, you could hear abuse of process, the time pass and this and that, and him can't sue again.
Yes.
So me to do that now.
Yes. So me want to talk to him. Me don't want to interview him. Me want James if you hear me come for an interview, man. Now I remember Anna like Tufton, but no man, you're good. You're good. Just come for an interview. Who want you for an interview here? Yeah. We don't want to see Ron James. No man, if you come to an interview, man, Google Gaga, you won't come. Google to you can't come. Catch his bully. Eh? Go Ron James. If you are listening for come for an interview, man, one day another week, just link up and come for an interview, sir. Okay, just come and talk to ask some question. You know reason about them, you know, so you know reason about them, you know. You're real, man. Can I say stand up against them and tell them for mind them own business? I love that. I love that. When I like someone I behave like chicken around here, you know. But like when people talk them mind ratty. So when they talk them mind, I feel good. Because I know well that's how I am stand. More than you know, then look when they ratty laugh with you and say, wow, ratty. And then go and then juke in there. I say, juke ratty. Me juke herb. Me go juke one wilderness. And then say, wow, why did I wilderness? Me not them, you know. Because I play hypocritical role, you know. Me born them, you know. You understand? So
before,
man straight. Eh?
Before we go, more Herb give you a rundown, a report, and then more you do a follow-up. More Herb give you a rundown on the deployment to Haiti. How is it coming along? Sir Herb, how is that coming along?
Well, I don't know what the Jamaicans are, but I know you have 600 Kenyans over there. I was trying to look up and say Jamaica was waiting on a payout. That's what the hold up was. I guess they want their portion of that 300 million up front. They want a portion of it up front. And once that is paid, then they will be on the way to Haiti. I don't know if that happened this week, but the last time I looked, which was last weekend, that was the big holdup right there. But the Haitian deployment, the Kenyans are doing very well in spite of barbecue threatening and all these other jokers running around. The Haitian police are well deployed and they're patrolling different areas. They're taking over churches and police stations and other places that were captured. They're taking it back. And they're out there doing their job, you know, policing. So the Haitian National Police appreciate them being there, and they're doing quite well. I know I had an update that I sent out. A couple of the guys them that I'd sent something to that was on a emergency basis. There was some kidnapping by some security company employees because they were using the security company phones. Did a kidnapping, and our guys actually traced the phone number, and I sent it to them. I don't know what happened because there's no response. I sent it to Eric.
You know, if you barbecue them and barbecue them and nothing, you know response yet. I don't know the name barbecue.
Yeah. They still, I'm sure barbecue will steer clear of them. At some point, when they move on barbecue, I think he's going to be well and truly cooked.
No, we because, don't them before him. Nah, I'll just cook, so you know.
Well, you know, one of the things that's going to happen is when they decide to move on him, he won't even see it coming.
But I don't think, because hear this, Herb. If them are how much police and the Asian police force, around 9,000? Check it.
No, man, more than that. It's more.
Just check it.
It's more like 12,000.
12?
12,000 active.
Much?
They actually have a payroll of up to 20,000, but 12,000 very active.
Yes. Because them police, we're supposed to have more police than them, so naturally I know them a bigger thing and bigger population. Right? So the police who can protect them population up there, so them not really run down for him, and them barbecue have thousands of people, you know. So them just free up with 4,000, them have thousands too, you know, and them are dangerous. So them have to come to something. So I don't think them are just cook him, so you know. You understand? I know the Jamaican them just stay out of barbecue week. Our barbecue kind of hungry right now. And if I remember, you know, if we not sign up before we go over the phone business, we make sure we picnic get a father. Now, you have to tell them make sure we divorce a wife. So she don't have to call no wife and a widow and either, you know.
You know what?
Yes.
The National Arena, them show with there. That's a good place to do this thing. Just bring them in now.
Yeah.
National Arena with the shelter, the National Arena shelter. That's what we need.
Yes. So we need, you know, make sure them all right. And make sure you donate to the clothes so on the mate, kids' father, future father and them thing there. Yes. And you should be like gravestone, because I remember before nobody now come back, you know. So when be like gravestone that, you know, the kids them can look on it. All them father, if them too young and them don't know. And them father this. If you want the man take on a deed poll, but them never make the man do a deed poll, Ratty. Just take them name, them identity that you can just turn over your things them and it go. Say your name sperm whale. Him just take the name sperm whale. And then, you know, that mean him not have to change nothing. Him just take your name deed poll, sperm whale him name now, like how you the name sperm whale, and then him good. Him just fit in. Eh? Yes, me and Ratty. Yeah, Mr. Chow, your husband, boyfriend them. So you have to talk to the husband them. No, but me tell them already. They can't make money go over there so come do your little thing, you know. So I'm gonna show them, hey Ratty, before me even finish that, Vaz, I hear chop this. I hear water chop this, you know. See that one I film one man. It live, you know. See that? When I'm see counts right there, son, see there. That one I'm water chop, see there. Above pay that there, no. Say that you know. So no go cut up. The man have water chuck, you know. Hey, this are the first that are MP. I remember Parliament, Mrs. Rich in a Ratty. First time you never see them man unless them born in a richness. Them man have everything. The amount of apartments, water truck, you know, gas station. Hey, them man are rich. Them just stand up front of the people, them are rich. Every single one of them. None of them no broke. This bad. Really bad. Ratty, close off now. Turn on the mic, Ratty.
This week I got turn out like last week. This week we're gonna spend some time with the Integrity Commission report. We have some ATIs for file, some ATIs to check up on, and tomorrow, folks, I will be filing a complaint against the former DPP with the GLC. The paperwork is in Jamaica and it's going to be delivered tomorrow with the exhibits. And then we will see what happens. But the complaint against her for when she said that for her actions in the Vibes Cartel case and the subsequent interview on Nationwide Radio. So we need the GLC, if you look into it, to see how many innocent people in a prison as a result of what she did. We don't know. We're going to find out. But they have to do an investigation. They're going to launch it. So tomorrow morning, that paperwork is going to be filed. And then we're going to follow up now with some more ATIs. We have a whole bunch of questions to ask. And we have some questions that we asked already. We're going to follow up with. So this week is going to be pretty busy. Let me see what else, maybe. Oh, again, people, we're going the cat bond. We thought we'd finish with the story, but the Minister of Finance and Public Service come out today in the newspaper and write a whole bunch of nonsense. So we have to deal with it and take him to task, because we can't make him have the last word, because he's not supposed to have the last word. Because him screw up Jamaica taxpayers' money, him screw it up the premiums that he's paying for that cat bond. He might try to talk about him have a layered structure of financing for disaster. It's nonsense, because the layered structure we have right now, that's 16. Him get 16 from the Caribbean. Him get 2 from the UN, 2 plus from the UN, 2 plus from the US, and him say he might trigger another payout based on rainfall, because in the Caribbean them have it for storms, and them also have it for rainfall. So I'm saying might get another one. That still can't fix back St. Elizabeth, Clarendon, Westmoreland, and other parts of Jamaica will get destroyed. Can't fix it back, right? Go ahead.
But I'm saying, he might have to rainfall, but we have some terrible rain without this, and we have landslide, so I'm never getting the money.
I'm not getting the money from that.
About it then.
That's why. That's why I said. Yeah. Him say them get a payout from the Caribbean based on rainfall. So that's why.
That means him collect some money we don't know about then. Because when rainfall and they flood up the place and the whole place flood up and road block.
I think you mean. Yeah, it come in upon a storm. I think that you mean, but
we have tropical depression. We have some storm thing.
That's true. That's true. We don't know if him collect no money off of that.
That means him collect. Yeah.
Yeah, I try to find a section where him say. And the thing about this article is not a journalist write this article about where him say, is him write the article, right? So there's a piece here where him say that them say might get some more money because of the rainfall, which was, but again, this is only coming from the Caribbean, right? This is not coming from the bond we have. Oh, here it is. Him said the second payout from the Caribbean will be made in 2024 in relation to Hurricane Beryl in the amount of $16.5 million US as our tropical cyclone policy has triggered. Okay, so you get 16.5 from that. And then him say, and there may yet be a third payout from the same Caribbean fund in 2024 in relation to our excess rainfall policy. So we need to see that policy there.
So, but the rainfall policy we have, because remember we get excess and we get flood all the time, you know. So that means the policy are trigger all the time, and the first right here this.
The policies are a public document, because as it's mentioned that earlier, we need to be able to see some of these documents and see what clauses are in them.
That's a good question. The thing, to answer your Herb, I don't know. I asked for them. I asked for the cat bond one, and right. I was told that if you don't get it, then you can go to the World Bank and see if you can get it from them. But this one with the Caribbean, this one shouldn't be a problem, because it's all the Caribbean islands sign up for this and say, well, okay, we'll pool our resources and help each other.
Okay.
So that shouldn't be a private document or a confidential document.
No,
but you know,
it should be public.
Right. So I'm gonna do an ATI tomorrow and ask for this. I'll ask for all of the Caribbean documents, all of the policies, the Caribbean policies, and we'll go from there. So this story still has legs. So we're going to talk about that. And I tell you something, lonesome. Last week, Monday and Thursday, the Constitution Reform Committee, them have 2 public things online, but you can only, forget the term them use. You can only watch them. Them can't see you. You can watch them, and then you submit your questions in writing, right? So I asked them for come on the program because me hear them talk a whole bunch of nonsense and I lead our people astray. And I try to get our people now for support them and agree with the recommendations, because them I get ready now. After the cabinet, it'll go to the parliament, and then after the parliament, then I think 6 months period or whatever, then it go to the Senate. Then if them get the required votes, then it's supposed to go out to the public for referendum, right? No, but I asked him a question. And Dr. Spence couldn't answer. That are the drawback to that kind of forum, because them can't give you any answer, and you're stuck with whatever answer them give you, because there's no follow-up, and them just move on to the next question, and them just say your question answered. Because I said to her, listen, the opposition has indicated that it doesn't have the appetite to sign off, and there's no agreement, there's no consensus with the things here, and in fact, they didn't sign it. So I said, no, if they don't sign it, because they might tell the people, man, I educate them about where you need in the House, where you need in the Senate, and then the referendum for deeply entrenched provisions. So I said to them, well, listen, if you will get the number in the House of Representatives, but based on what we've seen coming out from the opposition, you will not get that number in the Senate. No. And if you don't get the 2/3, then you cannot do a referendum. So what is the plan? Yeah?
The opposition have to sign, them can't go against that. Them have to sign.
Right. So you can't move to the referendum without that. So I said to her, so what is the plan then? You know, she said, them all do like what PJ Patterson said, it said about something one time that you just lock them up in our room and make people talk and make them do. I said, is that the plan? I said to myself, because I couldn't ask her, couldn't follow up. Is that the plan? For just say, we're going to just move on and we'll try and get people in our room and thing. When the opposition already tell you, say, one of the sticking points is them say the Caribbean Court of Justice must be the final court of appeal for Jamaica. Yes. And the government said, no, it has to be the Privy Council.
Well, in the 100 days, at that when they say in the 100 days, you know.
Yeah.
Him say the Caribbean Court of, him say it himself, everything where him say him go back on it, that's why I say you can't trust this guy. And then in have nothing for lock up them, for impeach them, for do nothing to them. So we say that already, we know you're not chatting with them. Number one, there is no way you can bring that to the public and we not about all in that. So I could just tell them, and I like you just have an opposition and you say, hey, them small in numbers and I eat that. As long as we there, so it now go nowhere. And you know, from the other day, if I think some little thing around, I make them know, say, listen, me are the man in the wilderness, but let me tell you this. Because go through your music spectrum and with a business, who you want drop? Because we build the music and we plan post the tree, you know. Remember, me have more influence than enough for one what I talk about in a politician. You might not know. Go check my record. Do not piece of shit, you know. Me have more influence done in that more than Uno. Uno go check it and think. They might think a joke me I make. They might eat that, you know. He said, as long as you don't come out with no shit, we are against it not going nowhere. Watch me, I want to.
So
I'm not saying smart.
So what happened is that because the opposition put out, I think, a 2-page objection to the thing, and some of the things, some of the things I don't see how you're going to get consensus. So that means that this thing, this whole creation of this ministry, and this whole facade, when matter about constitutional reform, wasted money, wasted time.
Yes.
It's going nowhere. All right. Yeah. So I asked her, what's the plan? What's the plan? Because we have a logjam. What's the plan? There's no plan. No plan.
I want to go through and them and try, you know, where them can put off this. I must see everything where I be old and them can't trick up people. And them can't use more peace where they trick nobody boy and either. Me I tell them this.
I'm ask them for come on the program.
Yeah.
I'm ask them, write them. I'm ask them in the chat. I'm ask them on them website. I'll know. So we have a whole folks. So next week we're going to continue the fight again. The struggle continues. We can't give up, and we won't give up because there's too much at stake. So we talk soon.
Good day. Yo, me go like a dog here. Me go eat some food.
All right, we'll hold you up no more.
Not say nothing about them tonight. Me go like a dog, right? Later, brother. Me go like a dog, yeah? Me. All right, later. Me out.
The thing, you get